All right. Welcome. We are live for my very first show on the Bearded Kaiju channel. So thank you all for joining. I got some really good guys here with me that are, I can say that they are good friends of mine. We're just going to be talking about Godzilla stuff. There's a lot of stuff that happened this year. A lot of big news, a lot of collectibles that came out and stuff like that. So we're just going to touch base on, some of those topics and stuff like that, what our thoughts are, what we think, what we hope to see, what we hope to get out of them. And then we'll switch over to the collectible side. We'll talk about some of our favorite collectibles we got, maybe stuff that has been shown that's coming out for this next year. And then just maybe stuff that, we hope to see, maybe in the future that's, stuff that we can see down the road. So I just want to say thank you all. This is officially going to be called The Lowdown with Bearded Kaiju. So you guys are the first guests on here. So thank you and welcome aboard.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So first, before we start into everything, I just kind of want to go around the room just because it is my first time live. Maybe some people might not know you guys through my channel and stuff like that. So I just want to go around the room, introduce yourself, just say something about yourself, when you got into collecting, maybe when you became a Godzilla fan, whatever you think that you just want to share with us. So Adrian, floor is yours.
What's up, Kaiju family? This is Godzilla Chain 1090. Above birth, my name is Adrian. I've been collecting since 2017. I started with, of course, the NECAs, Bandai's, things like that. And about 2018, it exploded into X Plus collecting. And Lord have mercy, have I not stopped falling down that rabbit hole.
Joe?
I'm Joe Myers. I do Married to Kaiju. Let's see, I've been a Godzilla fan for, I don't know, man, like 25 years or something. I started off with the Trendmasters. I feel like a lot of people did, like in the 90s. That was really the only thing. Eric knows I live out in the country, and there's like nothing by me when I was growing up. And so it was like occasionally like at J.C. Penney or Sears or something, it would be like the Trendmasters. And I started with that. But I would say that I've been seriously collecting since maybe like 2000 is when I would actually like not take the tags off or keep things in boxes and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now I collect everything. I'm obsessed.
Literally everything. I've seen his collection. It is massive.
Literally, yeah. I know some people like will do like just Bandai or just like X Plus or whatever. I'm like, I like that. I like that. I want that. I want that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Marcellus.
Hey. Okay. Marcellus Winters. I've been a Godzilla fan, man. I don't want to say how long because I'll tell my age, but I've been a Godzilla fan for about 40 years. Since I was a kid, I've been a Godzilla Kaiju fan, anything monster. I've been collecting. I started collecting SH Monster Arts and NECA, and then I only been doing that for about 3 or 4 months. And then somebody showed, my thing was the whole War of Gargantua. Somebody showed me a Leslie Chambers War of Gargantua review. And yeah, you don't want to even know how long I've been collecting because y'all gonna probably look at me crazy. I've been collecting 3 days. No, I'm just playing.
I've been crazy 3 days, man.
Lord have mercy. I don't want to say this because I don't know if my wife and them is watching or my family, but I've been collecting. It'll be almost 3 years.
Yep.
Almost 3 years. So I've collected a little bit of stuff in about 3 years' time.
More than a little bit, man.
Hey, come on, Marcel. We're going over ages earlier, so same.
I have a 30-foot diorama that I built in my basement. And so in that diorama is about 200 figures and over 200 and something buildings and structures that's inside of it. That's about it. What about you, Mark?
Hey, this is Mark St. Yang. I'm glad to be here. This is Eric's first live, so it's mine too.
That's awesome, dude. Yes.
Right.
But yeah, I think I started liking Godzilla when I was about 4, I think, and I thought I was the only person in the world that was obsessed with Godzilla. So I kept it to myself.
Yes.
Yep.
And then you know that Crestwood Godzilla book that was in everyone's school library.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
My name was the
Oh
only name
yeah.
in that card slot that you got to fill out. My name was
Yeah.
like the only name that kept
Yeah.
appearing over and over again.
Say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eventually, I don't know what happened to the book, but it was just gone. I didn't steal it or anything. It just disappeared. But
Oh.
yeah,
Mysteriously.
I didn't know any other
Mysteriously.
Godzilla fans until Facebook, honestly. And yeah, and then I got my first Godzilla figure back in '94 or something with the Trendmasters, and then of course I went off to college, and then I had that little Trendmasters, and then
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I didn't get any Bandais until about 2012 around there, and then
Wow.
then of course I went nuts, and then I found out about X Plus, and then the rest
Mhm.
is history.
Yeah. Awesome. Jonathan.
What's up, guys? Jonathan Portman here. I've been a Godzilla fan my whole life. I always love telling this story, and not a lot of people know it. But the memory that sticks in my head the most is it was the summer of 1989. I was 5 years old. My uncle just handed me a VHS. It was taped off the television, and it had "Destroy All Monsters" written on it. And he goes, "Here, watch this, and let me know what you think." I was like, "Okay." After I watched it, I never wanted to do anything else. I just wanted to watch Godzilla movies all day long. I would constantly go to him and be like, "Can I see the next one, please? Let me see the next one." And I was constantly hounding him, and he kind of helped me, get into this fandom. And ever since then, it was lights out, like Godzilla all the time. I've been collecting seriously probably since 2014 when I started the Monster Arts line. And I guess we all are sort of collecting our whole lives, whether we know it or not. I started very young with VHS tapes. I'd have them all lined up in my closet at home when I was a kid, and I had, and you can see them behind me here. Is just I tried to recollect all of them because it's just like my love for my childhood, and random stuff like the Trendmasters line was great. I love the Trendmasters line. And Fukube, as Leslie just pointed, our resident in Fukube here, he was my, most people when they're kids, they kind of are very impressioned by the stuff they listen to. And when I was a kid, Godzilla movies were a big influence. So Fukube and score music became a mainstay in my life. When everyone was listening to stuff like, Coolio and like Backstreet Boys and all that stuff, I was listening to score music. I was just going to get score music. I couldn't relate to any kids in my grade because they're like, have you seen this new CD? And I'm like, this new single? I'm like, oh yeah, have you guys seen the new John Williams score? They're like, what? It's like, okay, never mind, So I thank you guys for having me, and I appreciate it, and just happy to talk about Godzilla, man.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for taking this journey with me. I've been thinking about this for a while, just kind of boost my confidence in doing it. I am a very shy person. I don't always go up to people and introduce myself and stuff. But I know this last year, especially at G-Fest, I kind of broke out of my mold and was actually pushing myself to meet people. That's actually where I met Jonathan Portman down below me. I met him for the first time at G-Fest. I met Marcellus Winters way down there for the first time. And then actually Joe Myers, I met him at G-Fest actually a few G-Fests ago and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm just going to push myself to do more things and stuff like that. And then obviously Adrian bringing me on with Monsters with Attitudes and stuff like that has been a blessing too. I absolutely love it. And it's just boosted my confidence to finally take that plunge and actually do a show on my old channel just to kind of see how it would go and everything. And, I was excited. I'm excited, nervous a little bit, even though I've hosted shows, on Monsters with Attitude and stuff like that by myself, with the crew and stuff. But I don't know. It's just something a little bit different when it's, your own thing and on your channel and you're kind of, part of it where it's all on you and nobody else. So, but yeah, just thank you guys for being here with me and doing this. So
Thank you for inviting me.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Eric.
You know what? We're all in this together. It's all kind of
Yeah.
great space. I love it.
And of course, I do want to thank everybody for watching live. Please, send your comments in the chat and stuff like that. Let's interact. Like I said, this is my first live, so all these things I've always done, recording and editing it, and then putting it out there, so I don't get to see anybody's live reactions or comments. So it's going to be fun. I know Leslie's already in here wreaking havoc and stuff like that. So
Of course. Of course.
this is Norm.
I wouldn't expect anything more or less.
Hey,
Leslie, you trying to sabotage the show?
Very nice.
Only for you, Leslie. Only for you.
I don't want to read nothing that he about
I
to
know,
type.
right? Like we should.
Hey, Leslie, what's wrong with the Golden Girls? I'm just saying. Okay. All right.
Oh my god. All right. So we're gonna dive right into some topics that I think is gonna be fun to talk about. I just kind of put them in no particular order. I just kind of threw them on a slideshow. And this is just kind of a open, free discussion. We'll just talk about it and get our opinions and stuff. So without further ado, our first. Let's talk about Shin Ultraman. Let's get some opinions about that. This was announced and it's already been released in Japan and stuff like that. I know there are no official ways to see it over here in the States, but there are ways around that.
There have been a few.
Yeah, I personally and the guy that's number 3 box down have seen this and everything. But what are your guys' opinions on this? What do you think? What do you hope to get out of it? Are you Ultraman fans at all? So, Adrian, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm not. Well, I can't say I'm an Ultraman fan yet, but I do enjoy watching Ultraman. I watched the TV series that came out on Netflix, the anime. So I watched that, and that actually kind of got me interested. I have some Ultraman DVDs downstairs that I like to put on every now and then. But I'm actually really excited about this because I'm excited to see Ultraman in a more modern take. So to hopefully have the enticement to go back and rewatch the old Ultraman. Because like I said, I've started it, but I haven't finished all of Ultraman yet. So I actually am really excited for this. And if I'm not mistaken, this is coming out next month, actually. Forgot what day, but I know a few cities are getting it. I know that it's coming here in Texas. So I'm really excited to wait for it to come out in theaters. I'm probably going to go see that opening night if I can. But I'm really excited to see this.
I believe it's the January 10th and 11th, where one day is going to be the dubbed and the other one's going to be the subbed.
So
right?
so it's actually the 11th and the 12th.
11th, 12th. Okay.
I only know that because I bought the tickets off AMC because they're having a bunch of screenings. The 11th is the sub and the 12th is the dub. So just make sure you're looking at what it was in the description of what it says, because it says sub or dub. So make sure you're going to the one you want to see. And it seems like right now it's only 2 days. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, super excited for that.
So since Joe, you've seen this without spoilers, what did you think?
I was lucky enough. Somebody may have done a movie night for my wife and I when we came to visit. It was I liked it. I'm an Ultraman fan. I can't say that I'm as big of an Ultraman fan as like Godzilla or something, but I am a fan of Ultraman and I enjoyed it. I kind of had the same feelings with Shin Ultraman as I did with Shin Godzilla. Like it made me excited for the future. Like seeing the new, as much as I miss like Man in Suit, I'll obviously always have a soft spot for that. But like my wife have kind of gave me like perspective on it. Like to her, Shin Godzilla is cool because it's more American in the sense that there's CGI. And so as much as I miss Man in a Suit and the small models and whatnot, I understand that in order for this franchise and genre to keep growing and stuff, that you kind of need to adapt with the times in order to get audiences like my wife or our significant others or whatever to maybe enjoy them more. So I'm okay with like the CGI and stuff. I'm excited. I enjoyed it. I don't know too much to what to say without spoiling. So
Yeah.
I'll just say that I'm optimistic for the future. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was like a perfect film or anything by any means, but it was fun and I enjoyed it.
So do you think that this would be a good like segue for younger fans to get into it per se, or do you think they should start with like the older series?
Are you asking me this?
Yeah,
Like
since you actually seen it.
Yeah, no, I do. And that kind of goes to what I was saying, like with like Melissa, my wife, like the CGI and stuff, it's more, I don't know, quote unquote modern or American, whatever you want to call it. Like I think that a Shin Godzilla or a Shin Ultraman, even the legendary Monsterverse, like those can bring people in, I think, a little easier than maybe some of the Showa era films. Because when you're used to like the CGI and the technology of today, I think it'd be an easier transition, if you will. So I don't think it would be a bad idea to show some of the newer films with a little bit more modern special effects. As much as we all, love the Man in the Suit stuff, I think that I think it would be good for expanding the fandom. If that makes sense, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
No, it does.
Marcellus, what do you think of it?
I can't really speak too much on it. I'm gonna watch this one, but I mean, to be 100% honest, I was never really a big Ultraman fan. I was more Spectrum Man. Some of y'all that might be before some of y'all's time. Spectrum Man, I was like
Spectrum Man, yeah.
Yeah, and my biggest Man in Suit was Inframan. And so I was more on that one.
Yes, dude.
Actually, I've been trying to find that 12-inch Inframan for like forever, but I can't. It's ridiculously high. But I wasn't really an Ultraman, too much of an Ultraman fan. The craziest thing was it was my brothers and my older sisters. But I saw this one drop, and I said I actually was going to go and see this one. And then after I see this one, I'll probably go back and start watching some of the older ones. But it was just just wasn't that big of one for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Mark, what do you think, man?
Well, honestly, I'm not that familiar with Ultraman as well. I mean, I know who Ultraman is, and I've seen the animated Netflix feature, and and I think I've seen a couple of animations of Ultraman, and I even have a couple of Ultraman figures. I think, well, I did, but I don't know where they are now. But this one looks pretty good, though. I might see this one, try to see it at least, and then. But I'm glad the franchise is still going though, because I think he deserves to have a fan base and to be continued. So that's what I think.
Oh yeah, like this fan base over in Japan is bigger than Godzilla. Like this fan base over there is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it's complete opposite here, where Godzilla is more popular here than Ultraman, but vice versa over there, where it's on a whole nother level. So yeah, it's definitely has the backing to keep going, because I mean, God, they have so many current series still going, and it's almost like every year they keep going with one. It reminds me of the Power Rangers, or the Super Sentai over there, where they just kind of keep doing new ones and stuff like that. It just keeps going. But hey, if you got the following, you got the backing, you got the fans, I mean, why stop?
Absolutely.
Hey,
Jonathan, what do you think? Oh yeah,
hey, can we officially block Leslie Chambers?
I want to make it clear that, Mark, we weren't laughing at what you were saying. Leslie had put up.
As far as
I cannot stand. Trying to sabotage everything as usual.
I'm literally sitting here crying. Oh my God, that boy is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all.
So I didn't really put this out there, but I actually did see Shin Ultraman. There was a screening in Santa Monica here at this festival called Beyond Festival. It's a cult classic festival where they play a lot of cool like classic movies, but they also play some new independent films, and they got Shin Ultraman somehow, and we saw the
Wow.
subbed version, which I'm really thankful for, because for some reason, when it comes to the dubs, especially like I'm cool with like the original dubs, like the AIP dubs and stuff that we watched when we were kids, but like the newer dubs done by like Funimation and stuff, I am not very high on. I think it doesn't look really. I think it serves as anime better than it does live action. It just seems weird to me. So I was happy to see the sub. I was ready to run through a wall after I saw this. I thought it was super fun. In contrast to Shin Godzilla, which is a lot more somber and serious, as it should have been for the time that came out and what it was actually conveying. Shin Ultraman does the exact opposite in a way. It gives us that same sort of feel of like adrenaline rush, but it does it in a totally separate way, a more fun and fanfare type of way. It's almost like a giant episode of the show. They do a lot of cool homages, and there's a really cool visual moments in it.
Yes.
The music, by the way, Shiro Sagisu, who is famous for Evangelion, he's done also other animes. He reworked stuff for Shin Godzilla as well, mostly using his old cues from other past anime that he's worked on. But he basically took the Ultraman score, like the music, and he updated. Like they would play the classic cues from Kunio Miyauchi, and then he would do his own updated kind of like, rockified version of it. And it was so epic. And I can't wait for people to see this. I think they're going to have fun. I think they're going to, for new fans, it's going to introduce people. I think it's a perfect segue to show people the old stuff. I'm just really excited for people on a general scale to see it, because I think they're going to have a lot of fun with it. A lot of cool moments. Like I said, I was literally ready to run through a wall after it. I was like so excited and amped. I was like, my heart was beating so fast. I was like, guys, I was in love with this movie. I can't gush enough about it. So I hope I don't want to overstate it, because everyone has different taste, but as an Ultraman fan myself, more an Ultra 7 fan. I was huge on Ultra 7. That's my favorite Ultra, but at Ultraman as a whole, I love Ultraman, and I'm really thankful for this movie. So I'm really excited.
Well, here's a comment for you, Jonathan, because you were just talking about.
Yes,
7.
Leslie literally read my mind as I was saying it. I'm sure he was typing it. I was like, Ultra 7, by the way. This is kind of a weird, kind of a segue, but when I was a kid, I wasn't introduced to Ultraman right off the bat. It was this show called Ultraman Towards the Future that was on in my area of town where I grew up, near Pittsburgh. I grew up in near Pittsburgh area, and they had it on Fox Kids on Sunday mornings.
Yes, yep.
And I was like, what is this? What is this? This is amazing. And my uncle was like, oh, this is Ultraman. And he also, like Godzilla, he also was like showing me some Ultraman stuff. And then at like 4 or 5 a.m., there was this like TNT Monster Vision Power Hour. Then they do late night Monster Vision, which is like what I grew up on. But then they do early morning Monster Vision where they play classic Ultra 7 episodes. It was like this Hawaiian dub where you can't really get it anymore. You can maybe see it on YouTube. There's like of the opening, but it was my introduction officially to like Ultraman, like the classic Ultraman was Ultra 7. So Ultra 7's like holds a lot of love in my heart, and I just love Ultra 7 so much. So kind of like helped me get more into Ultraman, especially classic. So
and Ultra 7, that's a crazy series, man. Like that's
really is.
Stuff, yeah, like I was like, wow, like it kind of blew me away while I was watching that. I was like, wow, I was like, they're cutting things off, they're ripping things. I mean, blood. I mean, all this. I was like, holy. I was like, this is
It's interesting you say that, because Ultra 7 to me is such a different show than any other show that they came out with. It's a lot darker. There's a lot more darker tones to it. And it was funny at G Fest. I'm sure the Eric and Marcellus and whoever else was there that is in the chat or whatever, they played some Ultra 7 on TV at night, and it was in black and white. And for some reason, everything was in black and white. They played Ultra 7 in black and white, and I literally said to Nick, I was like, you know what? Ultra 7 now, as I'm seeing in black and white, kind of has an Ultra Q vibe to it. It really is like an Ultra Q 2.0. The way it's structured, there's not every episode is a Kaiju episode. There's a lot of Twilight Zone stuff happening in that show. It's, he's small at sometimes, he grows at sometimes. The episodes are really more contained, and it's kind of like, it's not necessarily Monster of the Week. It's like Phenomena of the Week, essentially. which is what I really dig about the show. It's got this really dark sort of energy to it, and I really enjoy it, especially like the '60s.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was tangent.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no worries.
You good. You're educating me.
Oh my god. I just had to highlight a few of Leslie's chats. Of course, he's, like I said,
Leslie.
Leslie's just
he's doing
me
his
in the
thing,
Is it amazing, Leslie?
He
Michael
was waiting for
Hamilton.
this, I'm telling you.
chat. Hey, Michael.
What's up, Michael?
Hamilton's here. He's great.
Oh.
He's just
who's
getting
all in the
over
chat right
being
now?
sick. So
Yeah.
this is his excuse for not making it, but
Yeah.
that's
Told you I had the key.
He had too much berry. He had too much berry juice. So
yeah.
lay off the berry juice.
Oh god. Well, so my opinion on this movie is I really liked it. There are some things that I was a little, how do you say, just nitpicky, I guess, for me personally. But overall, it was a great film. It's a great start to something if they want to expand on and stuff like that. I could definitely see the new generation get on board with this just because of the special effects and everything. It was great to see the old kaiju in there and stuff. Yeah, like I said, there was just a few, without giving any spoilers or anything, that was just kind of, like I said, just was not my cup of tea, I guess. But overall, as a film, it was really great. It was a lot of little gems, from this series and stuff like that, which I absolutely loved. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a great movie for everybody to see. And if you haven't seen it, I think you should check it out. You might get a different understanding for Ultraman. You might even like it a little bit more.
Absolutely.
But you never know. Like you might as well give it a shot, because I mean, if you like Godzilla and everything, this is kind of right up your alley.
Right.
Because I was the same way when I was a kid. I didn't get into Ultraman till probably the early 2000s. And I always thought it was just ridiculous. I was like, oh, it's just a giant man fighting monsters. I was like, no, this isn't for me. I want monster on monster action kind of thing. And I had
You watched Tiga, didn't you? You watched Tiga on Fox Kids, didn't you? That terrible dub on Fox Kids was awful. You watched that, didn't you?
Tiga is my jam, man.
I love Tiga, but they did him so dirty in that dub, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that's what it was gonna bring me to, is that I got to watch it on Fox Box on Saturday mornings, and they had Tiga on there, and I actually went to Suncoast when it was around, the old movie store, and I bought 2 of the movies, the films that they had there, and they were like $40, like, mind you, like they were crazy expensive for just a DVD. Like, it was nuts. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give them a shot. I'm gonna watch them, and ever since then, I've watched almost every single series since. I'm just getting caught up with the newer ones, but I absolutely love it now. It completely changed my perspective on it completely, and I just love it. It's so fun, so weird, and but it's so kid friendly at the same time too, where you can just get lost and just watch kaiju action. So it's definitely something that you, if you haven't checked it out or have been on the fence, I think you should just give it a shot just to see what you think. So, but I'm assuming Michael Hamilton is also saying some stuff in this chat.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he was calling you out. He said, you don't you lie. You said it was epic.
Right. That's what I was laughing at.
Hamilton is a pathological liar, so don't believe him.
He's stirring the pot. Pot stirrer.
Oh god. But yeah, let's go on to our next subject. It's going to be Godzilla in video games.
Yes.
I don't know how many of you guys are gamers. I don't know if you guys have played this game yet or anything like, and whatever, but like I think, to me, this was a big deal when they actually got the okay to actually put Godzilla into this Gigabash game, It's been 8 years since the last Godzilla game, which was on PS4. So I think it's a big deal, especially when he brought 3 other of his foes with him to be able to play in this. But yeah, I just kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts of what you think of it. Have you played it? Is it good? Should they expand on it? Or should they bring out their own game? But Adrian, you can go first.
Well, I haven't played it myself, but I did watch Everett, aka Godzilla Fan Freaks. He did his live stream on it, and it looked really fun. I kind of want to get it, but I don't know. My son hogs the PS4, so I'm not gonna waste my money. But it does look great, and honestly, we do need more Godzilla games again. It being 8 years since the last Godzilla game is absolutely travesty. And even though I love the PS4 game, I still want more Godzilla because 8 years is too long without a Godzilla game.
Yeah, I agree.
What you got, Joe?
So I'm not really a gamer. I don't have like a PlayStation or an Xbox or anything, so I'm probably like the worst person to ask about this. I'm super excited. I hope that it continues, and I'm the weirdo that would buy it even though I don't have the system.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
Just for the collectible aspect. I'm a completionist,
and then I would, Eric, I'd have you buy it, and the next time we come and visit, I'd play it there or something, But I'm excited. I hope they do it. I hope they do just a Godzilla one, and beyond Gigabash, and more power to them. That's all I got.
Nice.
Yo, I was a crazy gamer, until my son come along and he just took the whole PS5. And so I haven't real talk.
Hey, I feel you, buddy.
I'm so busy. And then with all of this, I haven't, because I was Madden 2K. So I haven't played, I haven't video game, man, in over a year or so.
Wow.
So the day that dropped, it came across my one of my live feeds.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I brought it. I came out of video game retirement, and I brought it down here, man. And me and my son, since my son the video game, I wasn't about to fight him, so I played the team mode. Like, I need you to be on my team. Like you gotta be on my team because we ain't about to play each other because I'm gonna get mad because he's gonna whoop my face. You know what that is? You don't want to play your.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
You used to whoop them and let them win. So
dude,
like,
kids are good. Kids are good at video games.
We gotta be teams, man. It was fun. We played it for about 3 hours straight. Wow. It was fun. I hope they do put like the graphics on the figures was dope. I hope they put more of those packets in there. Mm-hmm. Because like when you play with all 4 of them, especially like when you're doing all the different power, it's more like it's not like so much the other Godzilla game where it's just like serious type Godzilla. It's more like fun because the crazy characters and stuff that you be fighting, man, is crazy. But I hope they do. I hope they put more into it, some more figures in it. But it's a lot of fun. It is. It was a lot of fun, man. I haven't played any of my sports games, but I played that.
Nice.
A lot of fun, especially as a kid, more kid friendly too. I just hope they add more to that, or they either make a Godzilla's own game out of that. Because if they do it out of that, or whoever designed this with the graphics that's in it, it'd be dope. It would.
It'll make money too.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I got it the day it dropped, man. It was.
Oh,
what it was, I saw a Gigan on there, and I was like, yeah, I got myself to get that. The only thing I wish they did, though, I wish they put instead of that that Kiru, I wish they had like the Mecha Godzilla 75 in there.
I thought the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, they needed like the 75 or 74 in there, man. Because he was the Joe Pesci of the Kaiju, so yeah, he is, man. I'm telling you. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun, yo.
Sweet. Mark?
Yeah, I don't game as much anymore. I mean, between my dealing with my wife, hopefully she's not around.
You got watch. You don't say that when she's around, man. I'm saying that there be soundproof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, between that and you know,
Why
my
is it
kids,
allowed to be
and
on
then
these slides?
work, and then sculpting and model building, I just don't have time anymore. But I mean, I do game once in a long while when no one's around.
Yeah.
And I haven't played Giga Bash, but my favorite game was that the PS4 one that Eric mentioned. The
Oh yeah.
what was it called? Save the
Great
Earth.
game.
The Save the Earth, I think it was called. But yeah, I
Was
used
it
to
just
love
called
that
Puzzle the
game.
Game?
And my favorite character was
Save the Earth
Megalon
was,
because he had
earlier.
that move where you could go on the ground and then pick up the person and throw them.
Yeah.
And then also he had that spinning kick. Yeah, so whenever my friends would come over, we would play that, and I would kick all their asses because they didn't know what game they were playing.
Let them know, Mark.
Yeah, but, yeah. I mean, I could see myself getting back into like Giga Bash. That looks fun, but
Yeah, it was.
You know,
it is.
time withstanding, I don't really have much time for that.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan, you said you played it, right?
Yes, well, I mean, I'm definitely a gamer. I've been a gamer most of my life. Grown up with, and my first system was the NES, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
in 1989 we got that. And our first game that I ever had was Super Mario Brothers and Godzilla,
Oh,
Monster of
yes,
Monsters,
dude.
Wow.
which I still have to this day. The
Classic.
same disc and the same cartridge and everything.
Oh.
So, you know, this game by Republic Games is really good. I admittedly didn't buy it, and like most people, most Godzilla fans, they purchased it when the DLC was released, which was
Yup.
me. I waited until the DLC released, and then I purchased it. Now, the game itself is really fun. It reminds me kind of the old Pipeworks games, you know, Destroy All Monsters Melee that came out, I think, in 2002, and then you had Save the Earth, which came out in 2005, and then I believe it was Unleashed, right? That came out for the
Yep.
Wii.
For the Wii, yep.
So, and I didn't have that one, but I had the other two, and it reminds me of that. It's got the fast, furious action. It's actually, I would argue, better than those because those were a little
Really?
clunky. Those were a little clunky, and I think it's because of the era of video games.
Yeah.
In that
okay.
middle
I agree.
2000s area, video games were very clunky, mechanics-wise. So I feel like this is a lot more, especially because I have it on PS5. It's a lot more streamlined.
Yeah.
It's a lot smoother. The mechanics-wise, I had Nick over one night, and all we did was play couch co-op together. We went through these waves of fighting these kaiju,
Nice.
and he was Gigan at first, and then I was Godzilla, and then I was Kiryu, and it's really interesting. They really did a good job, I think, of capturing the essence, the soul of each kaiju. You knew they were Godzilla fans because they have everyone's specials is specific to their character. You know, Gigan has this really cool dash. He does the buzzsaw. Godzilla, and I was trying to do it. I have a video where like I'm trying to dash the whole time. I'm trying to do the tail drag drop kick, which he does in Megalon. He does that in the game. You can do it in the game. I forget what combination is, but they really did some cool deep cut stuff that I really enjoyed. Overall, really fun game. I hope that they do their own Godzilla game because I've heard that they're gonna release more DLC with more Godzilla characters.
Ooh.
This is just the first wave apparently. So
Yeah.
and I agree with you that Marcellus, that the Kiryu should be Mechagodzilla 74 or 75.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd even go for 93. I really enjoyed the 93 version too, but the 74, 75 is my favorite, era of Mechagodzilla. So I was kind of hoping to be that classic, but I get why they did the newer ones because if you look at it, I mean, Gigan, Showa or Heisei is very popular inherently, and Millennium is a little newer for people.
Yes.
Showa, Gigan is very popular, but Showa is not as familiar. So, and I'm sure you guys played this. When there's like a mechanic that when you hit a certain bar, like when you get the certain bar full, you can turn giant. You can enlarge yourself and turn giant. And when you're Godzilla, you turn into Burning Godzilla. It's amazing.
Oh,
I was about to say that.
Oh,
I was
snap!
about to say that.
I like
Johnny,
freaked
did you
out
turn
when I
into
found
the
that
Burning
out.
Godzilla?
Yeah, when I found that out, I was like,
Wow.
whoa, okay, I did not know that. But it's really fun. I think people will have a lot of fun with it if they actually did get into it. If you're a little bit on the fence about it, trust me, like it's a game worth buying, especially with the DLC pack. And so I kind of hope they do a game in the future. I think they would do it very much justice. And I will say the Godzilla PS4 game that came out, you said 8 years ago, Eric.
Yeah.
And that to me, how time flies,
Right?
boggles my
Yeah.
mind. But I remember when that game came out, there were some flaws for sure. But but the way it was treated, I think was very fitting because it was kind of like a simulator. Like you're meant to be in the suit. And I'm not gonna lie, I was geeking out when I heard when you fight the Super X, the Super X2.
Oh my God!
You hear the music. They actually play the music from they play the Fukube, they play the Ruggiero Kuroki score. I don't know how they got the rights to that, but it did a lot of good. And they used the SH Monster Arts as I think they were the models they used to model off the characters. That was the most fun part about it. Just the whole nostalgic. As true Godzilla fans, you really dig it, but there are definitely some flaws with that game that made it really frustrating, but still really fun. I hope they come out with a game that's more balanced and more like Gigabash for sure.
Yeah. See, and I'm one of them that's on the fence. I actually just got a PlayStation card for Christmas, so I got some money for the PlayStation store and stuff like that. So I'm on the fence about buying this. I didn't pull the trigger just yet. But I definitely, when I heard this news, I was like, holy crap, this might be the reason why I actually get it. But now I have that free money. I might just get it now. So
and Bert Palpatine's in the background. He's like, do it.
Yes.
But yeah, I really do hope that this is like a first of many. Like this could be huge for them because I'm pretty sure the gaming fandom and the Godzilla fandom, together, I think they've been clamoring for another Godzilla game. Like Melee, like Save the Earth and stuff like that. They want that arcade style beat 'em up fighter. And, the one that we got, Godzilla the game in 2014, it wasn't the same, like you said, Jonathan, the models look great. The graphics are really good and everything. But, there was a lot of stuff that, could have been done a little bit better. But, hey, it was a Godzilla game. I didn't care. I picked it up right away. It doesn't matter. I still have it. I'm not going to get rid of it kind of thing. It's just a collector item now. But every once in a while I'll play it, with my daughter. She likes to try to beat me up and everything. I go, no, that's not happening today, honey. I'm sorry. I'm not going to, I just can't let it happen, so, but yeah, I hope they keep going with this. Whole bunch of stuff they could do, a whole bunch of more monsters. And then, they can just lead off to an actual game themselves. So it's definitely looking up for the Godzilla and gaming. So
hopefully,
hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right, let's go to our next topic. So this is kind of a controversial one, I guess you could say. I guess the Legendary in general is kind of controversial, where you either hate it or you love it. There's really no in between, really. But what do you guys think of this new movie coming out? They did tease the title, with this picture here. I don't know if that's going to be the official or not. But what do you guys think is going to happen? What do you guys want that come out of it? Who do you think is the big baddie, that they're supposedly going to team up with? So, Jonathan, let's start with you this time.
Oh, all right. Start at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, okay, so I admittedly will say I'm not a huge fan of the MonsterVerse. I am excited that it brings so much excitement to the fandom. It brings a lot more excitement to the property and a lot more eyeballs, which means we're getting more Godzilla every day, and that to me is the greatest strength of the MonsterVerse. Yep. And I'm not a filmmaker myself, even though I work in that industry. I'm not making these movies, so I'm not going to sit here and critique somebody for something that I can't do. But I will say that there are some really cool spots of the MonsterVerse that I enjoyed, and I think Godzilla and Kong. I'm not too high on the title. We just had Godzilla versus Kong, Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong. So it's okay, now they're like best friends. Yay, let's go.
Really lazy. Yeah,
but Hollywood, that's a title. That's a simple title that'll get people excited. And then I'm all for it because that gets everyone excited. I hope my only gripe about the whole thing, like I loved Bear McCreary's music from
Yes.
King of the
Yes.
Monsters so much,
Yes.
and I know a lot of people. I know
Yes.
some people weren't high on it, but
No.
I think that he did some really cool things with the Fukube score. I think that you could tell he was a fan. As a person who loves music myself, if I were a composer, I'd probably do something similar to what he did. He made it like really more broad and epic.
Mhm.
And not to say that Fukube's wasn't epic ever, it was, but like
Oh, yeah.
in terms of the Hollywood aesthetic, it was epic.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I was kind of hoping that would continue. I wasn't high on
Yes.
Tom Hulkenborg's score
Oh
for
my God,
Godzilla vs.
no.
Kong, even though I'm a
Oh,
huge
God.
Tom Hulkenborg fan.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
I love his work with Man of Steel. I love his work with Mad Max Fury Road. It was an amazing
Fury Road.
score. But this one felt kind of more of a director's choice than his choice, I guess you would say. So I'm hoping that whoever can. I think it's going to be the same directing team. So I think it's going to be him again. So
Mhm.
I'm more curious to see how that's going to go. In terms of big baddie, they seem to like to be in house with stuff. Like they brought back the King Ghidorah head, for the Mechagodzilla connection. So I feel like, they already kind of teased the Oxygen Destroyer and the ocean thing, which
Yep.
I think was kind of a really terrible way of introducing the Oxygen Destroyer. It was
Yes,
just
it
kind of
was.
ham-fisted, like, oh yeah, this is this weapon called the Oxygen Destroyer. We're going to use it. Boom. And then we're like, what a weird way to just say the Oxygen
Yeah.
Destroyer. It might as well just been a bomb itself. It didn't need to be the Oxygen Destroyer. They just
Yeah,
threw it in for
yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
But,
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it could be Destroya. Destroya has always been a popular kaiju.
Yeah.
I think they're more willing to stick with safe options rather than create a new one. I
Mhm.
think that, we got King Ghidorah, we got Mothra, and we got Rodan. So, and we
Mhm.
got Kong as well. So, maybe they're going to throw in someone like Gigan. We've already introduced space in King of the Monsters because, we
It's
know
true.
King Ghidorah is the ancient space. They insinuated ancient space traveler that's been
Yeah.
there for millions of years.
Yeah.
So maybe that's more of a segue into the space realm. I would like to see Gigan. I'm a huge Gigan fan, so like that would be kind of cool. But I don't know. I think maybe Destroy, maybe Gigan. Who knows?
I like it. What about you, Mark?
Well, I personally love the MonsterVerse. And
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
There hasn't been a movie where I didn't like. I've liked all of them. And King of the Monsters for me is probably one. This is gonna hurt a lot of people, but to me, that's probably the greatest kaiju movie ever.
Wow.
I
Okay.
love that movie.
Okay.
And,
Hey, man. Rock with it.
Godzilla versus Kong, I like that too, but I wasn't too crazy about the cinematography. I thought it was a little bit weak, but
Okay.
I enjoyed it. So I think the MonsterVerse, it's going in the right direction, and it's garnered a lot of fans. So, and a lot of merchandise, toys.
For sure. For sure.
And I think that's a good thing. And as far as the baddie, I don't know who the baddie is going to be. I'm hoping that, like what was said earlier, Gigan makes an appearance. Gigan and Megalon, maybe those two will get back together and fight Godzilla and Kong. That's why.
Wow,
I
that'd
would
be
love to see
interesting.
that. That'd be awesome.
That'd be interesting.
And the title seems, kind of weird.
Mhm.
Godzilla and Kong, like Tango and Cash, something.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I mean, I wish it would just been Godzilla, Kong, and then something else like Battle for the Earth or Battle against the Space Invaders or something. But it is what it is. I'm glad that they're continuing the MonsterVerse, and I don't want this ride to end. I just want it to keep going.
Nice, man. Marcellus, what do you think, man?
So this is where my brain go. I'm like Mark. I love the last 3 MonsterVerse movies. I do. I love them. King of the Monsters was just dope. Skull Island, dope. Godzilla versus Kong, I loved it.
Mhm.
I do. I love the MonsterVerse, and this was one of the reasons why. Is because when they did, the show us, they did the Heyseis. So, you had those different movies, right? So with the MonsterVerse, there's like no limit. They don't have to tell the same stories from the other eras. So what happens when you got to have Godzilla and Kong, because like when King Ghidorah's head grew back in King of the Monsters, right? So what happens when they find a part of him and they create a whole different King Ghidorah, and then they reconstruct Mechagodzilla? So now you got King Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla, and then they either bring in like Gigant or introduce a whole nother monster. And so with Godzilla and Kong, they end up introducing a whole nother counterpart to them. So it's no limitations of them bringing all kind of different battles and tag teams together that we've never seen. That's why I love it, because it's just there's nothing that they cannot do with it, you know. And then with all the special graphics to make it look just absolutely ridiculous. So that's, I mean, I just love it. I love the MonsterVerse. I love the way they're doing it. Only thing I didn't like, I didn't care for the design too much of Mechagodzilla. So I'm thinking,
I'm with you on that one.
You know, so you had Mechagodzilla 74, then you had him rebuilt 75, but they was kind of similar. So if they take parts of him, rebuild him to a whole different type of kaiju, you know, and team it up with something else, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be dope, man. Especially my biggest thing is bringing in what they can bring in, new stuff, new kaijus with the old ones, and then that gives us new X Plus kaijus and model kits that we can have. I'm just trying to say it. We ain't thinking about that.
So it's just basically Marcellus just wants more model kits to be
he just wants more kits.
Trying to expand his business.
I think the biggest thing is there's no limits. There's no limits to what they can bring together, and I love that. That's what I really love about the MonsterVerse. And then, you know, the special effects to me, man, is just, they off the chain. I love it. I do. I really do. Yeah. What do you think, Joe?
I like the MonsterVerse films. You know, I have to admit, like, I definitely wish they kept the way that 2014 was marketed. I think is some of the best marketing of any film like ever.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
100%.
I'm one of those nerds that will like track box office and stuff. And I don't know if you guys know this or if anybody like remembers, but leading up to the 2014 Godzilla, as like the TV spots and whatever built, the tracking went up. At first it was it's going to open 45 million. And then it said 57 million. Yeah. And then literally the day before it opened, they're like, it's going to do 75 million. It ended up opening, I think it was either 93 or 97 million dollars for the weekend. So it blew expectations out of the way. Yeah. And I've had this conversation with some of my like Marvel friends and whatever. Like, I don't care that Captain America Winter Soldier was coming out or Guardians of the Galaxy and how that blew up, whatever. Yep. In 2014, and I will argue this until I'm blue in the face, the 2014 Godzilla movie was the movie to beat that year. Yep. I don't care what anybody says. It wasn't Marvel. It wasn't DC. It wasn't whatever, Harry Potter or anything. It was Godzilla. Like, it had the word of mouth. It had the marketing. And I think that they dropped the ball with how they positioned. I enjoyed 2014. Don't get me wrong. But I think they dropped the ball on the film we got versus the film they marketed.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. 100%. Cutscenes.
Yes. Like, it, to me, like my buddy said it best. Like, he was like, the cutscenes were fine for the trailer because it made you be like, what the fuck is happening? Sorry. Yeah. What the hell? You know, what the fuck is coming next? Right. And unfortunately, nothing came next.
Yeah.
But a bunch of cutaways from we got in the movie. Yeah. And it was like, okay, it was fine for previews, whatever. Anyways, you know, so if we went to that like dark apocalyptic, like, hey, these things are waking up. Everything was a government conspiracy, you know, nuclear bombs. We weren't testing them. We were actually we were killing these things or trying to kill these things, you know, Chernobyl and all this stuff. It wasn't, you know, government accidents. It was all trying to keep these things hidden. It was like, holy shit, that's awesome. obviously wasn't the films we got, and they ended up
Yeah.
going like very sci-fi with King of the
Yeah.
Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong, which is fine. I enjoyed them. I liked them. With that being said, I really liked Godzilla vs. Kong. I specifically because Godzilla won finally. But like I will say this, like to me, you can kind of tell that these movies they're doing them as they go, and I think that they should have if 2014 was, to wrap it all together, if 2014 was the movie that they marketed, they should have taken a step back and done the Marvel approach and said, okay, we need to do these couple movies and all build to something. Like, I'm disappointed that they got rid of King Ghidorah in the second film because to me, King Ghidorah is, well, he's my favorite, obviously, but he's also like the Thanos of Godzilla.
Yep.
Like he's the planet destroyer.
Yeah.
So they should have used it to like build that up. So, but I am very excited for Godzilla and Kong. I think that the villain, if I had to guess, and I haven't read any of the spoilers just that are out there, I would say that it's got to be Biollante. And I agree with Michael Hamilton. He was saying it on the group chat because I think they could go the route of like, she's the physical manifestation of Mother Earth. You know, like she is the reason that, you know, the Hollow Earth exists. Like make her bigger and stronger and whatever, you know, she's not just gonna burn up from a couple heat rays from Godzilla. Like literally have her control the Hollow Earth. You know, she is
Earthborn.
Wow.
You know,
that does make a lot of sense. Like the whole Earthborn aspect, they've been doing that anyway. You know, with a lot of the MonsterVerse Titans that are just coming out of the woodwork. So yeah, that would make the most sense.
Have any of you guys read the Godzilla, the King of the Monsters movie novelization?
No.
Apparently, I haven't read it either. Well, I listened to it on audio. Well, it was a while ago, but there's like a line in it, and they talk about the King Ghidorah that we got in 2014 is like the juvenile prince or something they call him. So like they allude to like the reason why he's out flying around is because he was never going to get like the throne that he wanted from his species. So he was going to claim a throne. They pretty much implied that like there's maybe another Ghidorah somewhere out there.
Right.
Whether it be like, and like the way they worded it was like, I don't remember if they said emperor or something, which Kaiser Ghidorah is German for like emperor. So it's kind of like, oh, maybe, you know, maybe there's a Kaiser Ghidorah somewhere out there that we're going to get. And, but anyways, I don't know. I say Biollante. I just rambled for.
No. It
was great.
Good sense.
Rambling is good. It's good.
Yeah.
Can you do one of those audios for me and I'll listen to it because I was on the edge of my seat with your story right now. So.
Right.
Biollante looked at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she makes the most sense though, right? I mean, like, and well, I also think that like the Hollow Earth kind of opens the door for literally anything. Because you know, Anguirus, Gorosaurus, Titanosaurus, like Gazora, any of these things could just be like, oh, they live here in the Hollow Earth. You know, like it's not
a Hollow Earth like end battle would be interesting. Like I would actually, be down with them all going to the Hollow Earth and just like kind of like a pseudo alternate universe down there. Like we don't know what's down there. They have
to, right? I mean, we've done.
You've already opened it up.
Yeah, like we've done Boston and San Francisco and Hong Kong and like we've done Earth cities. Like let's do something kind of like environmental and where maybe there's like that gravity field where like Kong jumped from and like they're, I don't know, you know, do something crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. For sure.
Love it. Adrian, what you got, man?
So I guess I'll start with the title. I don't care about the title. Godzilla and Kong. Okay, it is what it is. Whatever. The title, we'll see what happens with the title. As far as, and if y'all saw our MonsterVerse retrospective earlier this year, y'all know I have a very weird love-hate relationship with the MonsterVerse, especially Godzilla versus Kong. I think that's the film I'm probably most split on, even though I do enjoy going back and watching that a lot. There's so much with that film that was done incorrectly. I'm excited for this movie, but I need to see improvements from what happened in Godzilla versus Kong. Because the only thing they got right in Godzilla versus Kong, in my opinion, was the monster action. Everything else was boo-boo water to me, to be honest. So the whole storyline behind that movie is just terrible. So I do want them to do a lot better job with telling the story in Godzilla and Kong. And as far as the baddie, like Joe and Michael said, I honestly have always thought it's going to be Biollante, especially with all the elements in the Hollow Earth that we've gotten so far. Biollante makes more sense. But if I did have to say another villain, I probably would have to say Megalon, because maybe the Cetopians are hiding in Hollow Earth somewhere, and maybe they try and come in the rise and try and take over the Earth. So I would either like to see Biollante or Megalon be introduced in the MonsterVerse.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I actually Godzilla versus Kong is my favorite MonsterVerse film. I thought for the most part the kaiju action was perfect. We could just completely get rid of all the human characters in these movies and just scrap that whole idea. Like, we could start over with those. I'd be okay with that. I think the best human characters we got for the MonsterVerse were from Kong Skull Island. Those are probably the most intriguing and the ones that you just kind of grown to like the most. But yeah, all that other stuff they can get rid of. But yeah, the kaiju action in this film was just next level, top notch kind of stuff. I hope they kind of do more with the Hollow Earth, and I think that's kind of where they're going, just because of, you obviously saw them kind of house Kong down there, and obviously he's roaming around. So like some of you guys said before, it opens up a lot of things where, some of the dinosaur kaiju could be lurking around and stuff like that. We kind of already seen a glimpse of that with the Warbats, which are really cool designs. I kind of wish that they got a little bit more on him, but honestly, they could have killed Kong, because that one had him wrapped up and suffocating him. So they gave him a run. But yeah, it could open up so much stuff. The baddie wise, honestly, I'm still kind of caught on the Destroyer thing, just because of that oxygen destroyer being used in King of the Monsters. It was in the water, it could have mutated something. So I'm still kind of on that. The Biollante aspect does make a lot of sense. The Destroyer one's kind of out there kind of thinking, I think, and they're probably not going to go that way. They want to keep it more grounded, more, make believable, I should say, even though, they had a space monster come from outer space and, crash land and be frozen in the Arctic, and stuff like that. But I still think they're going to try to make it, believable more than anything. So that would be the case. I don't know. Or they're going to do something where they're going to kind of what the title says, something more with their background, because we kind of got a hint of their backstory where it's been Godzilla's versus Kong's and stuff like that for a millennia kind of thing. And maybe we get this crazy, shot or moment where you have a bunch of Kongs and some Godzillas all kind of duking it out kind of thing. That would be kind of interesting. Just to kind of get more of that backstory, because they have hinted it a little bit, and maybe they can dive a little bit deeper with that, but who knows? I'm just kind of glad that they're doing another movie. The MonsterVerse isn't the greatest, but it's not like my worst era of films. That goes for the millennium. So we all know that, Adrian. But but yeah, I'm just glad that it's still going. Like Marcella said, it gives us more merchandise, more things coming out, and it just kind of keeps Godzilla relevant too. I hope they don't go too crazy where they keep doing it over and over again, because then they oversaturate him and then people start losing interest, kind of like they've been doing with Star Wars and Marvel and stuff like that. They're just kind of losing their way, and I don't want that to happen to Godzilla, even though I want more stuff.
Hey, Eric, I don't mean to interrupt you. Can I make a quick point sidetrack?
Yeah, go ahead.
So when it comes to Godzilla vs. Kong, like I don't feel like that Godzilla vs. Kong gets the recognition that it deserves. Like it was the
Right.
movie that reignited the box office,
Mhm.
you know, and everybody
Yeah.
always will talk, you know, they'll give credit to everything else. And I feel like Godzilla in general is always just kind of like the redheaded
Wow.
stepchild of everything. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Like that movie made, you know, $500 million while
Mhm.
also simultaneously being released in on streaming
During
and
COVID. Yep.
during COVID,
Absolutely.
you know, and before it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe before a vaccine rollout, really before, you know what I mean? Like, and
Yep.
it still
Yeah.
did
Yep.
$500 million. It reopened, it saved the
Yeah.
movie
Yep.
theaters,
Yep.
Agree, man.
and did exceptionally well for HBO Max. Like,
Yep.
really, I wouldn't be surprised if it was close to $1 billion movie
Yep. Absolutely.
without streaming, you know, or if it was just box
If it
office.
wasn't a pandemic, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
like, I don't feel like that, you know, and look at the toys too. Like they were
Yep.
flying off the shelves. I mean, as a collector of anything, I don't care if it's a $5 figure or a $5,000 figure. Eric can attest to it. I'll buy it. I don't care.
Yep.
Like I couldn't find the Godzilla vs. Kong toys anywhere.
Yep.
Like, I mean, it was flying off the shelves, but did it get the recognition? No. Did it get the recognition from Hollywood or anywhere for saving the box, saving the movies? No. Like, so I, you know, I don't know. I just point of.
No, that's to add to that. Like Leslie just put across there, you know, I think it's really dope too because it's the like what Leslie said. You got Kong interacting with like that Rodan,
Yeah.
Mothra.
Yeah.
That's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you made a great point that I was thinking about. You know, I was movie crazy during COVID. And if you notice, a lot of big movies like, you know, Wonder Woman 84, all them different ones came out. Those movies were big movies, but they were so limited looking. They were a lot of movies that should have been big were like small cast, low budget looking. Man, Godzilla vs. Kong was the best movie during that whole COVID era when that COVID first hit.
Definitely.
I'm telling you, man, there was
Definitely did a lot of
people
business for sure.
that don't know nothing, have never watched Godzilla, never watched Kong, and because of how in demand that movie was when it hit during COVID and the quality of it, that was the biggest thing. That movie was at such great quality that you did not know that movie was, you know, really finished out through the whole COVID, man. That they did an amazing job on that, and that was one of the biggest things to me because you know the whole movie, the whole kaiju world is based. Some is Kong, some is Godzilla, some is Kong, some is Godzilla, but Kong never got that much recognition in all the movies like Godzilla has.
Nope.
Yeah.
So like what Leslie said, this is the opportunity to bring him on that same level, like how you got Batman and Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you bringing him on to be on that same level to fight the monsters that he fought in all the other old eras. Man, I said, the best thing that you just cannot kill out with Monsterverse, and I'm gonna say it again, they can do stuff with those two monsters, those two kaijus, with all the movies we've seen, and they don't have no limits on it. So you can see Kong fighting, Megalon, you know what I'm saying? Instead of bringing, you know, so there's so many things that they can do that I just think Monsterverse, man, has such an advantage. It just does. It does. It has an advantage.
It does, but then it's also going to depend on how they tell the story too. Because I mean, they do have all these opportunities, but as we've gotten so far, we got Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan, and Mechagodzilla, and King Kong. But how much further do we know these directors want to go with Godzilla? How deep in the lore do they want to go? Or are they going to try and bring us new monsters for us to kind of gravitate towards too?
I think they are.
And
I think we're going to get a lot of new stuff.
I think so too. I mean, I want to see Biollante in the Monsterverse, but I'm also open-minded to seeing new kaiju brought about too.
Yep. Exactly. So good point.
Yeah, I mean, even Leslie brought up a good point here is that it did, you know, obviously we're talking about this, and I'm glad, Joe, you brought this up because I thought about it too, is where it did save movies and theaters because they were going down and they were going to be non-existent. realistically.
Filing for
And
bankruptcy.
this movie came
Good
out of nowhere.
point,
They just
Leslie.
said, screw it, we're gonna throw it out there and we're just gonna hope that people did and go to it. And it did. It's brought everybody back to the movies and out of their shells and trying to become normal again. And like you guys said, like it does not get any props for that because it is so niche.
Yeah.
Because not everybody likes this kind of stuff. They're not into it and everything. And they always brush it aside because it's not, what everybody likes or want. Yeah. I mean, it's becoming more mainstream. You can see that because there is so much more stuff out there for merchandise wise. It's coming into, I mean, even the Toho International that's responsible for the rights here in the US. They are dishing out the copyrights to all these other companies nowadays more than you ever would have thought possible if it was just Toho and they had their ways, because that's their baby. They didn't want anybody to touch it or mess with it or nothing. But now they're like, hey, we have fans over here, and it's like we need to promote it and get it, worldwide so everybody can have this opportunity to see it and enjoy it like we have tried to do, as best we could. We try to get what we can from over there and everything, but it's like it just doesn't get the recognition like it should, and it sucks. It really does.
Absolutely.
Oh, Michael and his
I think
Godzilla.
I think the name Godzilla and Kong are mainstream, but the characters themselves aren't mainstream.
Yeah.
Like someone will say,
Oh, the Morg freeze?
I think he did.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh,
Mark, come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are having technical difficulties.
Oh,
Baby, come back.
Well, hopefully he can get that figured out. But I wanted to highlight another Leslie comment here, and he's right. Like Kong isn't on the level as Godzilla. Understandable.
Right.
But like over here, Kong is actually, I would say almost, if not as popular or maybe even just a tad over Godzilla.
Yeah, he
because
is.
Kong has been around since 33, and we got all those old movies in black and white and stuff like that. And people know what Kong is. And it does bring fans. It really does.
King Kong adds a lot of validity to
that much. What was that?
Yeah. I was saying King Kong adds a lot of validity to other franchises. I mean, you bring the name King Kong or even Kong into anything. I mean, look at how many, parodies and spin-offs there are of that. Even in Japanese culture, even in like Nintendo, Donkey Kong and stuff like that. Like there's so much reach with Kong in general. It only made sense to do that crossover.
Yeah. I agree with what Leslie's saying. Like, I mean, me personally, I'm not a Kong fan whatsoever. Like, there's not really an appeal to me. However, I understand that he does appeal to a lot of people, and that without him, like, Kong added to the MonsterVerse for sure. Yeah. And if people deny that, like, you're letting your feelings get in the way of facts. Like Kong absolutely added, and don't get me wrong, Godzilla added too. Like I don't think Kong would have been able to carry a franchise on his own, really. Too far. Maybe a couple films. I thought Skull Island was fantastic. Could there have been like a sequel or maybe two sequels or something to it? Sure. Could he have had a MonsterVerse franchise of his own? I don't think so. Yeah. But I think together, like they
complement each other.
Perfectly said. Yeah,
for sure. Yep.
Yeah. As long as Godzilla wins.
Yep.
Oh, Leslie's gonna have some words for that.
I already know.
Oh god. Well, awesome. I love the discussion, but we're gonna move on to our next. Hopefully, Mark can get back in the chat and everything, but we're gonna go on to kind of a big day for the Big G himself. Yeah. This past year was his 68th birthday. And obviously you can see here in the States, we had Godzilla Day. And then in Japan, they had Godzilla Fest, kind of celebrating his birthday and everything. They had a festival go on and everything. But two of the main things that came out of that day were two really special trailers. Obviously, you can see one is the Godzilla versus Gigan. Gigan's 50th anniversary this year was really huge. And then we got the final finished product from the Gemstone fan-made trailer of Godzilla. Toho liked that so much that they're like, hey, finish it and we're going to release it. And they did. And they did such a, oh my gosh, fantastic bang up job. I can't believe this was just fan made. They need to be hired on immediately and be working at Toho themselves. But yeah, let's discuss this. What do you guys think of the trailers? Yeah, like I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. So, Adrian, you can go first, man.
Oh, Godzilla Day! What a special day. I know me and Eric, a few other fellas, we all stayed up to watch it together, and we didn't make it to both trailers, but we saw it the next day.
Oh man!
And I know for the Gemstone trailer was absolutely phenomenal. I know a lot of people, it was either the hit or miss, but I really enjoyed it. But the thing, of course, I enjoyed the most was the Godzilla versus Gigan 2, I think it's called. I really enjoyed that short. That short was awesome. The remade Gigan suit looks perfection.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Perfection. The way they shot this movie just made me miss that style. It took us on to so much. It was like, this brings back, please. This looks so incredible. Y'all did this for a short. Just make a movie. And like we said earlier, I understand why we have to move towards CGI, but I'll still at heart, I'm always gonna love Man in Suit better, and that short was perfection.
Yeah.
And one thing that I guess we'll probably touch on a little bit later, so I guess I'll save that. But what did you think, Joe?
I loved them. I loved them both. Like I said earlier in the stream, I'm a suitmation and miniature guy, so seeing the suits back and everything, it was great. To me, like, I don't understand why, whether it be Japan or Hollywood, why there can't be like an amalgamation of suit and CGI. Like, why not like actually make a suit and then like the parts that need to be tweaked or whatever, like part of the suit is like actually like green screen, like the tail or the claws or the blinking eyes or something, like have like a suit that's green screen or something that could maybe like mesh them together to make it. I don't know if it would work. That's just my crazy theory, but no, I liked both the videos. I have to say that I think I liked the Godzilla versus Gigan Rex just a smidge more, only because of like the hinting of
the hinted,
that it's Junior, and he's an adult, and with Miki Sagusa doing the little
that was beautiful
voiceover.
Yes.
I grew up like I was born in 88, so I grew up in the 90s watching the Heisei films and whatnot. So like the Heisei has a little bit more nostalgia to me than the Showa. Still love the Showa, but like, so kind of having Junior back, or at least alluding to it being Junior, that was really cool to me. I loved that, and I love that design, man. I would love them to go maybe a couple tweaks here and there, maybe make the snout just a hair bigger. But I love that design. I hope X Plus makes it. I can't wait.
They will
for the Bandai and all that stuff. But yeah, great day. It was a fun day with those two little shorts. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll pick up where Joe was. That he basically said everything that I would say. It was. I enjoyed both shorts. I like the Gigan one a little bit better because it had more teasers on it. I was kind of so with the suit a little bit, but to me, those shorts can be turned into something longer. Basically, I mean, I think that was the biggest enjoyment that I had, because whether it turned into a movie or whether it turns into a really great series, that they can do different type of little origins off of or whatever. I just thought it was really good. I didn't
know I needed a white heat ray
Yeah.
Until I saw that, and I was like, yes, please.
They
Like,
needed
that's
Ultra
awesome.
Instinct Godzilla. Like,
Exactly, yeah. And like the chest glowing too.
oh yeah, just,
Love it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, now that I did like.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, Godzilla Day was really fun. I loved the Gigan versus Godzilla short. That one was just it gave me all the nostalgic tokusatsu feels. I love that they actually
yeah.
gave him the ray.
Oh yes.
Finally.
That was like finally like to me that the fact that Toho was like, yeah, go ahead and do this. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's what it was supposed to do. Cool. Like
Yeah.
the whole look of the tokusatsu short itself was so high quality. I mean, even you're looking at the subtle details of like when it shows the low angle looking up when Godzilla shoots out his ray and you see like the wind blowing, like the trees are going crazy and like it's shaking. Like I love physics like that when they bring them into the films, you know, or into shorts like that. It really makes it a lot more fluid for me and organic. Like when you actually affect the environment around you. Like that is really cool. It kind of reminds me of like, you know, the new Ultraman shows. Like that's basically how they elevate the sets now.
Yeah,
They're very small.
That's true.
And they just kind of all low angles. It's really, really well done. Very low cost, but very effective the way they did it. I really love that. And the Gigan, the Godzilla versus Gigan Rex short, I mean, that thing blew me away, knowing it was fan made to begin with. But the fact that it starts with we hear the Get King Ghidorah, you know, march from Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, which is also, you know, when Rodan's fighting that comes from Rodan fighting the jets in the original Rodan. So like I love how they actually use Fukube pieces like that to me was even more of a validation of it. I also am a huge fan of Evangelion. They had a lot of Evangelion vibes. Anime like vibes with like Gigan and like everything. It was pretty overwhelming, but like not in a bad way. It was a very good way. I loved the way that it had kind of, like you said, went into the whole Godzilla Jr. mythos and kind of expanded on that a little bit. I've always been very curious and wanted to see that as a continuation, as a new series. You know, Godzilla Jr. taking over. I've always been interested in that aspect of it, especially with the monster arts. You know, we had of like it's basically, you know, a reissue, but like the whole rebirth sculpt itself, like that whole design, I thought was really interesting. And all in all, together, I can't complain. It was a great day, and stuff like this makes me excited for the future. Like we have Godzilla vs. Megalon coming up this next year here. Yeah. And I really hope they do something with Jet Jaguar, and they kind of have to. I mean, they'd be, you know, it'd be a shame not to. But it makes me excited for the future, seeing more of this stuff, like them expanding on it more. Because last year's, you know, we had the Hedra short, but there wasn't much to it other than that. They had like the original 4K screenings at some Alamo theaters, which, you know, again, aren't available all across the country. So the fact that they're sort of doing more and more, I want to see more of that branch out. I want more to be available in the future. So it really made me super excited. Oh, and the new Godzilla movie. I don't think we haven't touched on the whole thing. Like, maybe you will. Maybe that's a whole thing, but that's probably next, I guess. So
we'll get there. We'll get there, buddy.
We'll get there. Yeah.
All right, Mark, what did you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, I was very stoked when I realized that they put 2 shorts out. I mean, obviously one was fan made, but I was surprised because the suits looked really good, and even though it was nostalgic, it seemed relevant to our time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, so it was like the best of both worlds.
Yes.
And I thought it was cool. The Godzilla Gigan Rex, as all of you have said, it just blew my mind. You know, I thought, as someone who is a big fan of the High C series, and I've always wanted to see a CGI High C Godzilla film, so this was the closest we got. Yeah, and it was just amazing. So I was really happy. I mean, I could see this as like the precursor to an actual CGI Heisei movie. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm hoping that's what happens, but who knows? Yeah, but I'm glad that they did that. Awesome.
Yeah, I hope they continue with this fan made thing that they're doing. Just because there's so many talented people out there that can do this kind of stuff, and they can do it better than Hollywood can, which is absolutely ridiculous. I
Right.
don't understand how they can do it with having no money to do it. So
Yeah.
I hope this is kind of a teaser for them to branch off and do this kind of stuff, because I mean there's a trailer out there or a little clip out there too where it's Godzilla versus Gamera, and it's
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
it's absolutely top notch, and it's just like if they can do this like that at home, they can definitely do it in a studio. So that's I hope that they go to that kind of level of the technology. If we are going to do just CGI type movies from now on, they need to step up the CGI where it looks exactly like
Yep.
Tom, Dick, and Harry is doing out of his basement, like that. And that's we deserve. I mean, honestly, we deserve that, because I mean, we expect the highest quality for these films, and they should too. So if they can get somebody like that to do it, I mean, why not? And then obviously, the heartstring pull for Gigan's a new suit, like that was just incredible. He put on some pounds over the years, but that's okay.
Little chunky.
Yeah,
a little wider down there.
But I absolutely loved it. Wakasa-san did an absolute bang-up job on this suit.
Absolutely.
It was, God, just almost 100% accurate to what we got in 72. And just the way they shot it, like you said, Jonathan, like it was even that panning, like when they went through the building and everything,
Yes.
and they were
Oh my
still
God.
putting
Yes.
focus on it.
Incredible.
Like that was top notch. Like that's stuff that they're really excelling at and really thinking of now. And I think like what they're doing with Subaraya and the Ultraman series is contributing to that, because they are doing those kind of shots, those crazy shots that you wouldn't typically see in a tokusatsu kaiju film. But they're doing it already over there in Subaraya, with Ultraman. So it's definitely being shown in a Godzilla film, which, makes me super excited to know the future and where this could go and what they could be looking like in the future. I'm excited for it, but yeah, the whole day that they did was absolutely phenomenal. A lot of stuff going on. I mean, for whatever that I think we were doing a stream, Adrian and us and a few others, and just kind of going back and forth between the streams from the Godzilla store stream to the actual stream at the festival and stuff. So it's good that they're doing this. They're celebrating Godzilla. They know exactly what they have and what he means to their culture and just maybe worldwide. And I hope they keep going with this. Jonathan, like you said, they got Jet Jaguar Megalon 50th next year. Hope we get something like we just got, with maybe new suits, And another thing with the whole Gigan suit, when they had that Kickstarter, throw that shit to the US, man. We will give you our money to make these suits.
Yeah,
So
not just
we
the
can
suit, but the whole production. Like,
I don't care. Like, we'll give you our
do
money.
a GoFundMe for the whole thing. Like,
yeah, like
some money.
Yeah, like you're gonna get so much more money than what if you just keep it in Japan. Like, we're there for this stuff, and they have to realize that there is a fandom over here that is willing to throw our hard-earned money at this stuff to get it made and to see this stuff, come back to life. So hopefully they kind of do that stuff. Huh?
Kickstarter raised $100,000 for the MonsterVerse graphic novels on a hardcover and it's all the same except for one new story, which is cool. But it's like, if we're going to raise $100,000 for 5 comic books that we've already gotten,
right?
We're going to give you probably $1 million for like,
we'll give you enough to make a full feature film. I mean, come on, like. So yeah, I hope this is a trend to what they're doing. And then, like I said, maybe pick up and coming graphic artists to do little trailers, do little tidbits, whatever, to show off during the festival. So it's really exciting to see what we could be in store for the coming years. So I did want to So Leslie wants to make sure that he gets a Mecha Godzilla short for 2024 for its 50th. I will agree with this.
absolutely.
I'm on Leslie's side.
I will agree with this if they do
Absolutely.
the same thing with 75, and then
Yep.
I'll be the happiest camper alive. Because give me a new
You and me
Titanosaurus.
both.
Titanosaurus.
We good, man.
Ooh, for
You and me both,
2025.
man.
There you go.
Yep.
We got Titanosaurus.
Yep. Give me that loving dinosaur, man. All right.
Who's
Moving on.
Titanosaurus?
Hey now. All right.
Ooh.
This was dynamite when this dropped.
Yes. Oh my god.
I couldn't even pick up my jaw after this one because this came out of nowhere. Obviously, some of this news came out of nowhere, but this one, nobody knew about it. This was completely took everybody by shock, and I just want to get your guys' thoughts on what do you think about this. Mark, let's have you go first, buddy.
Well, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I love I do like Gamera. I remember seeing Gamera as a kid, the shower Gamera, and I've seen a couple of Gamera movies. I'm not familiar which ones anymore, but I haven't been keeping up with Gamera lately, and
Okay.
which is unfortunate because I think Gamera is a pretty cool kaiju. But yeah, but I want to get back into Gamera. It's just that I haven't had a chance to really digest Gamera. Gamera's been kind of like in the back of my mind and then not really going to the forefront. So, but yeah, I mean, this obviously looks good, and I know Gamera is kind of, for some people, Gamera is toe to toe with Godzilla.
Yep.
And
Yep.
but it's just Gamera just hasn't caught on to the mainstream in America anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm still trying to get into Gamera, and hopefully this coming year will be that year.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that, when you say this isn't caught onto mainstream, like it doesn't help that he's been under wraps for like 20 years. Like they haven't even remotely tried to do anything with him. And it sucks because, the same thing with video games with Godzilla. This is another thing that people are just clamoring to see is like, we want new Gamera, anything. Like we really do. Like, I mean, anything you can think of, we want it. So this is pretty exciting to get this announcement for just this series. So they just announced a new series for Netflix. So this could be a perfect opportunity for you, Mark, to really get back into Gamera or just start to get back into Gamera next year. So, but Jonathan, what do you think?
Oh man, I'm really excited. So for me, it's like Godzilla, Gamera, essentially, like Metallica, Megadeth, like that's how it goes down. But I love Gamera. Like I love the Gamera Showa era. I love, Gamera versus Gaios and Gamera versus Barugon are one of my two favorites. In that series. I even love Giron. Giron's so fun and goofy, and but the Heisei trilogy was, I'm talking top notch. I love the Heisei Godzilla era, but Heisei Gamera to me is the pinnacle. That is the pinnacle of Tokusatsu in the 90s. Nothing comes close, I don't think. So yeah, and Gamera the Brave was really heartfelt. It to me, it kind of brought it back to the original Gamera, and that's sort of in the emotional pulls. I thought Gamera the Brave was a sound effort. Maybe came out at the wrong time, but Gamera has been neglected, and in an era where Godzilla and Kaiju are back in the forefront, even Ultraman's making a more of a presence in the West here. Gamera is due. So that whole short we got in 2015, I thought there was something that was going to happen. I was hoping someone picked that up, but no one picked it up. So I guess it was a cool short, but with this, I feel like it's probably going to be an animated or an anime like series, and I'm totally okay with that because I'm a fan of anime. So bring it on, like bring on Gamera in the anime space. Like we've never seen Gamera in that medium, so I think they can do a lot of cool things with it. I hope they go more of a different route than they did with the Godzilla anime trilogy.
Yes.
But I'm really excited for the potential here. and I guess we'll see, right? How about you, Marcellus?
This is what I'm hoping. I mean, I was Gamera Showa just as much as I was Godzilla. I used to love the Showa Gameras. Then moving forward, I love, y'all know me, I love the Gamera 99 suit. I got them everywhere. I love the Gamera 99 suit. Yeah. But it was, I think it was 2015, 2016 is where they did that short that they kind of took it into a trailer. And they had, it was like hundreds of them, look like Gauss flying at him. Yes. And his whole mouth turned into fire and he blazed all of them. I'm literally hoping. I can't remember, because y'all know I'm getting old. I can't remember, because I read it. You know, I gotta go. I have read why that didn't, I cannot remember what it was, but I read why that did not take off, why that movie never hit. Oh, really? I mean, but if you see the graphics in that movie and the way Gamera looked at that movie, man, was about to be ridiculous. Oh, yeah. So when I saw this, that's what I was hoping this is going to be. I was hoping that this end up being something to connect back where they did that short in 2015, 2016. Because man, that Gamera in that movie right there, man, that whatchamacallit was ridiculous. So when I saw this, that's what I'm hoping that this is gonna be. Because you know, Netflix when they've taken these movies, man, these Netflix movies have been really nice. You know, they have done some amazing graphics and stuff in these movies. So what they can with the teaser with this, I'm just hoping that it's something kind of picking up from where they left off with that trailer.
Agreed.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm excited. I love me some Gamera for sure. I agree with what you guys said before me. You know, Jonathan, you said something like about Gamera the Brave coming out at the wrong time, and I agree with you. I think it's because the 90s trilogy was like so just revered, right? That because the Brave was different, I think maybe people were like hoping for, I don't want to say like a continuation, but maybe something along that lines. And I heard that this Gamera is going to be an anime, which I feel like when I heard that, I was a little disappointed, not because I don't like anime, but because it came after that 2015 short that I was like, oh my, give me that, you know?
Exactly.
But
definitely.
I'm open for it. I mean, I'm going to give anything a chance that's kind of, you know, giant monster toku related. So I say bring it on. And I hope that it's not like the anime trilogy, that it is actually you know, I always said like the Godzilla animes and stuff like that, it should be the stuff that you can't afford to do in a live action because of budget or because of whatever. Like to me, like as much as I liked Shin Godzilla, I think Shin Godzilla should have been an anime. Like you have this thing that has different stages and is mutating. And it's, you know, like it's gonna have the fifth form is gonna be humanoid Godzilla, or maybe
that would have been wicked.
And it's gonna make its own kaiju or whatever. Like like that's like to me, like that's freaking bonkers. Like that should have been an anime. You know, like go crazy. Like the anime to me is where you should be able to go crazy with all the stuff that you can't financially put into a movie or a live action show in Japan, because obviously like their budgets are significantly smaller than Hollywood. It's not going to be a $200 million film. So go crazy in the anime. Like that's me. So like I hope that it's not a snooze fest like the Godzilla trilogy was. But I hope they go crazy, but not stupid crazy. You know, like I hope they go like, this is what we've always wanted to do as far as like mutations and monsters and designs and whatever, but we couldn't afford to do it, or we couldn't figure out how to make the suits work. So I'm for it. I say rock out, you know?
Yeah, nice. Adrian, what you got, man?
Absolutely.
Gamera.
Wherefore out thou, Gamera.
Yeah.
Gamera is my second favorite kaiju, only next to Godzilla. And when I heard this news, I think me, Eric, and Thomas, we all posted it in the group at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it was just it was instant excitement. And my stance on the anime, not the anime trilogy, but the 90s trilogy for Gamera, some of the best kaiju movies ever produced. So the fact that we haven't had Gamera in so long, since Gamera the Brave, which Gamera the Brave is still a very good movie on its own. Took me forever to watch it. Finally watched it, and that's a great movie as well. I do want to see Gamera have a mix of the style of Heisei, even in anime form, but maybe with some of the monsters from the Showa era, because Gamera has always had really unique, tough kaiju to fight in the Showa era. So I do kind of want a mixture of both of those in this new anime. And kind of like Joe said, it can't be a snooze fest like the Godzilla anime trilogy, because Jesus Christ. And it can't have the techno babble of Ultima or guys. It can't have techno babble like that. No, I'm not doing that again. I can't. We just need ready for business, but very fun Gamera. That's what I'm expecting from the series. Is what I want. I cannot wait to see this. I can't wait for this to come out.
Yeah, like I completely agree with everybody. Like, this is exciting news for me. This is probably my second most exciting news of the year. I'm a huge Gamera fan, a huge Showa Gamera fan. Probably even it's almost close between the Showa and the Heisei for me, because like the Heisei, Gamera 2, Evan the Legion, my number one film for Gamera by far. But then right below it, Gamera versus Gauss. Like I don't know why, I just absolutely love that film, and I can just put it on and just watch it all the time. So I'm excited. When I first saw this picture, immediately I thought of Gamera the Brave, because of this outline in his chest. It reminds me of, I mean, the Gamera that was called in that movie,
Toto.
in that film was Toto. Okay. So
it does.
This reminds me exactly like Toto, where he had that like reddish design of his shell and everything. And I'm wondering if this is going to be a continuation of his story as he matures and stuff like that and becomes actual Gamera.
It could be.
If that's the kind of story we're going to get, just because of they're highlighting this chest feature with this kind of a light up that resembles Toto from that film. So I'm very excited for that. Netflix, I think they can do it, just because like the Ultraman anime that is on Netflix is very solid.
It is.
There
it
obviously is some things that I would change. Like obviously, I want them to be overgrown. I want them to be giants. But it is a different take on Ultraman, where they're more human size and everything. But overall, it's still a very good story. And I can't wait for that one to come out, the final season to come out next year. And then obviously we got SP, singular point for Godzilla. Now I agree, Adrian. It's you're really gonna put on your thinking cap to really understand that show in any way, shape, or form, and you cannot just start in a random episode and watch it, because you will be lost. But for the most part, I understood it. I enjoy it actually a lot. There is, like I said, obviously there's some things I don't like about that one too, where I can nitpick and everything. I don't like the stages that he has. It's the same thing with Shin. I don't like stages for Godzilla. It's just not my thing. But other than that, like overall, I thought the story was really good. I thought the action was really good. I know a lot of people complain about there's not enough action, but honestly, in about every episode, there's kaiju action in some way, shape, or form. So you do kind of get that, but then you also get the human aspect in it. So, but yeah, overall, I'm super excited for this. I cannot wait for this to be dropped. I wish they'd give us a little bit more details about it, but it's pretty hush hush for now. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to next year. But on to our next one. So as I had to kind of save the best for last. This is by far the biggest news that we got last year. This one. Now, Adrian knows, but that guy who announced this is the goddamn biggest troll ever on the internet that I've ever seen, because that guy just paused and paused and paused
like
and
20
paused.
times. Oh my god.
And then he's like, in due time, you'll know what it is. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, we had our phones up with Google Translate, trying to translate everything while we're watching this thing live. And then he's like, oh, yeah, later. And I was like, are you kidding me? But overall, it's very exciting to hear that we are finally getting another Toho Godzilla film. So, yeah, let's discuss. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Adrian, you can go first, man.
The king is returning. It's about damn time. Returning to the rightful hands of Toho. I'm very... Words can't describe how excited I am for this. Lord knows if I had the money, I would go to Japan next year just to go see this movie. I can't wait for this to come out. The thing I'm curious about is, one, what Godzilla design we're going to get. I'm very, very intrigued by that. I know we talked about it before. I know there's a few different designs I would like to see, but on whatever Toho gives us, I'm open to it. I mean, I got used to Shin Godzilla, so I can get used to any Godzilla design.
That's true.
And the story behind it, because with Shin Godzilla we got such a serious story. Are we still gonna keep that same serious tone to Godzilla with this new movie coming out, or are they gonna try and go more towards the MonsterVerse or short, or make it more of a lighter film? We honestly don't know. But in my opinion, this logo kind of almost solidifies that we're gonna probably get a serious Godzilla film.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest question, another big question is: are we gonna get a solo film, or is Godzilla gonna fight somebody?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm clamoring to hear news for this, but honestly, I don't want any spoilers. I just want to go watch the movie and be excited to watch Toho Godzilla again.
What do you want? Do you want a solo film or do you want a fighting film?
I've always been more of a solo Godzilla film guy. Like 54, 85, and Shin Godzilla. All three of those are my top 10 for favorite Godzilla movies. I love Godzilla just wreaking havoc on the citizens of Tokyo. So I'm going to take a solo film myself.
Okay. Joe?
I agree with what Adrian said. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait. I'm going to start off by saying, or piggybacking off what Adrian said. I hope there's no spoilers. I hate it when I've kind of like had to just admit defeat when it comes to spoilers, because people will just blatantly share pictures in the groups and be like, oh, what? Everybody knows. It's like, no, motherfucker, we didn't.
So true.
So I really hope, because like nobody knew. Like we heard what, like, 6-8 months ago, maybe a little longer, that like, oh, Toho was making
a monster movie,
a kaiju, a monster movie, and it's going to be set in like the 40s. It's not Godzilla related or anything. It's like, oh, like, okay, well, it's like, no, actually it was, and we just kind of did that to throw you off the scent or what have you. And I think that's awesome. Like, I hope there's no spoilers. I'm really excited for it. I don't care either way if it's a solo film or a fighting. I think a solo film, when it's done right, like it can have just as much weight, if done right, obviously.
Yep.
But I'm just excited that Toho is doing a Godzilla film again.
Yes.
I hope there's some suitmation. It doesn't have to be all. I hope there's something. I hope there's maybe like a couple scenes or something where there's some suitmation and there's some miniatures, or something. I don't know, but I'm excited. I like the logo. I don't know what the hell the logo is, but it looks cool. It kind of, honestly, like the logo, like reminds me of the Gamera, the pendant thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I
okay.
can kind of see that.
Like that comma shape.
Yeah, the comma.
Yeah.
Thank you. And like
Yeah.
you know how like in Gamera 3 there was like the deformed evil one for
For Iris, yeah.
Iris, yeah.
Like it's kind of like it's giving me those vibes. I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe I'm by myself. I don't know. Or like a demented yin yang symbol.
Yep.
Mm,
You
okay.
know? I don't know. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Nice.
When I look
So-
at it, I see. When I look at that symbol, I see a new water gargantuous. But I'm just saying. No, you know what's funny? I was watching Shin about 2 nights ago, and the way it ended. And so when I saw this, I mean, just to me, the first thing I thought of, they're going to take Shin to another. They're going to make another Shin, like another Phase 5 of him or something. When I saw that, the first thing I thought of, I said, I think they're going to pick up from where they left off at Shin, and he's going to evolve into something even more looking like the Godzillas that we're kind of used to, and they're going to like have something fight against that. I mean, that's the first thing. That's the only thing I saw when I saw it. I said they're going to pick up from. You're talking about almost 6 years, 7 years later. They're going to pick up from where they froze Shin, and then they're going to evolve him into something a little bit more familiar looking of what we was used to, and then they're going to pick it from there. That's all I saw when I saw that. I was like, and the crazy thing is, I said, I hope they don't show nothing outside of this. And if they do show a trailer or have a trailer drop or something, it never show what we're about to get. It just shows the action or something being tore up, but it never shows whatever kaijus we're going to get.
Okay.
It never shows the Godzilla. That's my thoughts on it.
Nice. Jonathan.
Well, I'm very excited for this. So, you know, like a lot of us, when that news first came out, like it was like a year ago, it was just an article I saw on Anime News Network. It was just like, you know, kaiju film being, you know, made in Japan, and it's like set in the 40s, and all these things are aligning now. And then this whole news dropped, and you know who the director is. You know, that movie that was always, I believe it was called Always on Sunset. I think that was what it was called. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but it was something of that nature. And we've all seen that the beginning of that movie. The way it begins is with that scene of 1930s, 40s, you know, Tokyo getting ravaged by Godzilla. And there's that quick shot of like a CG Godzilla turning his head, roaring, and then the movie kind of begins. They're like watching it on TV or whatever. That to me is 100%. It all kind of aligns, right? Like they saw that, and they're like, you know, we want to direct this movie, and then he's like, okay, sure. Big Godzilla fan. I'm very intrigued about the origin thing. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming they're going that route just because, like, 40s, you know. I've always been really more intrigued to see, like, a period piece Godzilla movie, and it seems like they're doing that. So I'm very excited for that, because we really haven't seen anything like that since the original film. And to go back that far, I'm very excited, especially in the modern day, to do that. They're always going or into the future. You know, even in the 60s, they were always going into the future. So, like, Destroy All Monsters, 1999. So it's like, I've always wanted to see them go back in time, so to speak, and do something more modern in sense of like back in the 40s or whatever. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also intrigued. I might be the only person who thinks this, or maybe there are others, but I always go to the music side of things as well. I get excited for that. So I'm like, who's going to do the music? And, you know, Naoki Sato, who's done a lot of really great anime, and he's done the live action Rurouni Kenshin movies, and really good composer. I would love it if he was involved, because he also composed the music for that Always on Sunset movie. He's worked with that director a lot. So I feel like that's going to be their choice. If it's not, then I would really hope for Kaoru Wada, who did, Ninja Scroll. He also was Fukube's understudy. Not a lot of people probably know that. And so he's done a lot of, Godzilla-centric inspired stuff in the past. So that's what it really excites me, is sort of the music aspect. Like, who's going to do the music? So regardless, so like you were saying, Joe, about the whole like live action thing, you want to see a little bit of tokusatsu in there. I liken something to that, that coffee commercial they did a couple years ago. It was like that tribute to Nakajima, where it was a suit, but it was all CG enhanced around it, and like it looked
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah.
Something like along the lines of that more. Even if we got some marionettes or some puppetry going on, like I would enjoy seeing stuff like that for sure. So I'm really excited.
I forgot about that coffee commercial. Yes.
Yeah.
Boss Man Coffee or something
Boss
like that.
Man Coffee, Boss
yeah.
Coffee or something like that.
Boss
Yeah.
Coffee, yeah.
Yes, you're 100% right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that would be like a perfect blend
mix between them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I am completely stoked about this. I mean, I'm really excited about it. I agree with Adrian that it's going to be serious. I mean, it looks the logo looks serious.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's supposed to be a brush mark, and I think there's going to be. I think that alludes to something classic, but also serious, because I think because they take their brushwork pretty serious as far as I'm concerned. So I think we're going to get something that is original, and I can't say for sure what it's going to be. I just know that I'm really excited for it. And one thing I will know is that Toho, the company, they're always reactionary. America will do something and then they'll be like, oh, they do like it, so let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I feel about them. They're always, it's like they have this product that is really good, but then they're always unsure whether the world will like it, and then they just hold on to it, and then they're like, well, maybe we should do another Godzilla movie, because I've been thinking they should have been doing Godzilla this whole while, this whole time.
Right.
I mean, that is like Godzilla is actually their best export product. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe the marketing director for Toho should get fired or something, because
some new blood.
I mean, Godzilla has been Godzilla is a household name, and
yeah.
I mean, even if you don't know Godzilla, the mythos behind Godzilla, everyone knows the
name.
Godzilla.
So true.
And I mean, and as the MonsterVerse has proven, Godzilla is a viable, commodity. So, I mean, the fact that Toho is not only recognizing that again, they keep going, well, let's do one last one, and then we won't do another one, but then we'll do another one. So let's hope they realize now that they can just keep making Godzilla movies and people will watch them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, like I agree. Like to me, this logo, this looks like almost his tail. Like when the first thing I saw this, I was like, God, that looks like his tail arching around and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's really cool, actually. And then, Mark, you bringing it up with that brush stroke, like that makes complete sense, for the time period that they want to do and everything, old, maybe feudal Japan and everything, kind of thing going on, who knows? But I don't care what we get as long as we get a Toho Godzilla film. I really don't care. I don't care if there's monsters in it. I don't care if it's a solo. I just want strictly a Toho film, because that's what we got with when we first started watching these films, and that's what I love. I want them to do that. Now, a part of me doesn't care if it's CGI or suit, but let's be honest, I want Suitmation. I mean, they can still do it. They showed with that Gigan and trailer that they just did. They can still do it. They can still make it look believable, and they can still make it look good with different camera angles. So it's very doable, and so I hope that they do a nice mix with it. But I one way or another, I just want another Godzilla film. So I'm super excited. So
this was one thing I was going to say too. On the logo, I was thinking this, because if you really look at it, it looked like, how if you pull up the earth and it was like the roots and stuff on the bottom of the G. And to me, it looked like something is going to come up out the ground.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It looked like
Yeah.
something's coming out of the ground,
Kinda like-
because that looks like roots. You know,
Mhm.
like something got dug up. And so that was the other thing. I'm like, what are they going to do with that? Because it does look like something is about to come out the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
I dig
Just
it.
me.
Nice. Awesome. So yeah, that's that concludes our news, our media that we were kind of teased this last year. Some of probably the biggest stuff that we were teased this last year. So now this part of the show, I kind of want to go through quick, just some collecting questions and stuff like that, and maybe show off some stuff that we got this year, or talk about what could be coming up this next year. So I do have a few questions, and we'll just start firing away. So, nope, that's not the right one. This is the right one.
I was like, I didn't
what do
see
you-
that in the list.
Yeah. So, what do you hope to pick up this coming year, whether it be new or old? And let's do Mark. You go first, man.
Well, the item I'm most looking forward to in the coming year is the Mezco Ultimate Godzilla figure.
Ooh, yes.
I'm probably gonna
I
get two
forgot
of
they
them.
got pushed back.
I've been waiting for something like that forever, and because to me that that kind of relates back to the original Shogun Warriors Godzilla,
Yeah.
and now we're getting an actual gigantic Godzilla action figure. I'm just so excited about that. That for me, that is like the numero uno thing to get next year.
Nice.
Okay, I like that.
Jonathan, what do you got, man?
Well, there's a few things, but the main one that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm hoping it gets released next year, and Marcellus will be like, yes, I agree. I think you know what I'm going to say, because I'm always gushing about this kit, the KOC, the KOC 1964 Godzilla. I've always wanted one. It's been eluding me. It's one of the ones I regretted not getting last year. There was one that I that was on, and I couldn't. I almost bid on it, but then I'm really regretting that I didn't. And then this news came out that he's going to be re-releasing. Yes, those heads. Oh my god, that's like the quintessential 64 for me. Is the KOC kit. So
yeah,
I'm hoping to get one next year. I know that they just announced. You know, Ibaraki just announced the 28 centimeter reissues.
Yeah, the downsizing. Yeah.
Which I'm really hoping to come out, you know, at least comes out next year, or you know, this coming year. I'm really excited for that. That's like number one. And then, you know, there on the music side, Godzilla versus Mothra LP. Now I know I stayed on Leslie's on our music discussion that I thought that score was a little overrated, but there are a lot of great, beautiful compositions in that score still, and I would still love to have it in my collection. You know, it's still a solid score. So, like, I know that was delayed. It was supposed to come out in early December, but then Mondo, for whatever reason, and I think they said it was some issues with production, still hasn't been fully announced to come out yet. So that's on the list. And then the 1200 degree Godzilla from Super 7, that one's already pre-ordered. So, super excited for that. And that's about it, really.
Nice.
With me?
Yeah.
It ain't no telling. It ain't no telling, y'all. I mean, the craziest thing is one of the things y'all know me. I done got everything on earth hunting for. One of the things I was just dying to get was the KOC 2000, which y'all seen. I got that literally coming here next week. But it's two things that I'm really looking forward to, and I know a lot of people probably forgot about these. Number two is the Star Ace Medusa. Listen, I cannot wait for that Star Ace Medusa, and that Medusa is just crazy. I cannot wait for that. And another one that I got paid is the XM Space Godzilla.
Oh yes.
Listen, everybody has slept on it, forgot about it. Mine's is paid. That I think I will maybe one more payment on it, but that XM Space Godzilla, I cannot wait to have that thing somewhere in this city. It weighs I think almost 100-something pounds or whatever.
Holy
Yeah,
God.
it weighs 53 kilometers, so it's like 114 pounds. So
Wow.
I had talked to and that's the standard. The DX is even heavier because I had talked
I
to
bet.
Ash, and he was telling me they gave them the prototypes, and he was telling me, he said, man, this thing is like solid, like almost like lifting a stone. And I can't wait for that. The Medusa, I'm excited about the X Plus Kong, but scaling wise kind of threw me a little bit. But I think that some of these other companies are going to make that Kong. I'm excited about it. But my two things really is that Medusa, that Star Ace Medusa. If you don't collect the Ray Harryhausen, so I grew up on all of those. So I got all of those. Y'all see, I got all of those figures. Every one that he drops, I get them straight from Star Ace, and I mean I get it from the Star Ace site. But Star Ace with those Ray Harryhausen figures, man, the designs on those things, man, I promise they look like those whoever's designing those from Star Ace, man, them things look like they walking right off of the movie set. And so the craziest thing is, I was telling somebody I hope they make a Medusa, and I think a week later is when they drop that Medusa is coming. So and then here's another one that's on there that I'm waiting for too. And I was so excited when I saw him at the fest. Is the Star Ace Mighty Joe Young?
Oh
Yeah, that is
Oh
nice.
yeah.
That
Wow.
Mighty Joe Young.
Science.
That Mighty Joe, and you know me, I'm gonna try to get them months before everybody else, so I can show off and make everybody else feel some type of way. Like, where'd you get that from? Yeah, but yeah, it's the Medusa and the Space Godzilla for me.
Nice.
Nice.
What you, Joe?
Well, first I want all my Spiral pre-orders to ship and get to me.
Right.
That's what I want. I'm excited for the X Plus Godzilla Ultima that was just kind of announced a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
When I first I didn't really like the design at first, but I have to admit it grew on me, and it grew on me hard. I like it. I would love to see. Sorry, I wrote a couple of them down so I didn't forget. The X Plus Mecha King Ghidorah. I hope.
Oh yeah.
We finally. I'm hoping that with the 2019 King Ghidorah that's coming out, that they have figured out a way to maybe do the weight balance and the wings and whatnot.
Yeah.
The Bandai Premium Degarla that was teased. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
and what was my so my last one is one that I'm hoping comes out. And there was obviously no rumor, or at least that I'm aware of, no rumors or whatever, but an X Plus or a Spiral Studios, whatever, Grand King Ghidorah. It's my favorite design of Ghidorah. I would love that. Eric and I had talked about that in November when we were visiting, that that's our favorite, or at least my favorite. I think you said it was your favorite too, design of Ghidorah, and I want more representation of I'm actually getting the Mothra 3 vinyl just because it has Grand King Ghidorah.
Romano,
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's mine. Adrian.
So, even though me and Eric talked yesterday, and I'm kind of almost done hunting for stuff, I do have one thing new and one thing old that I'm looking for. The one thing new that I'm looking for is the Spiral GMK Godzilla, because the gigantic X Plus one is too stylized for me. It's murder duck, as some people say. But the gigantic Spiral is just perfection. It looks just like GMK should look. And y'all know of all the previous GMK figures, they kind of take their liberties on making Godzilla look a little bit stylized in a sense. But the Spiral GMK is the first one that actually really looks like GMK. So I'm really excited about that. And one of the last things I'm hunting for is the Monster Makers 28 Cybot Godzilla that Leslie got earlier this year. That
Ooh.
God, that figure is absolutely perfection. I love the Cyborg 84. I mean, 84 is always my favorite movie and suit as it is, but the Cyborg is just phenomenal. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to finding next year.
Hey, Adrian, don't look at my box days coming.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
I don't know how I do.
Marcellus. I know.
Oh my God, you're crazy. All right. So some of my most excited ones are obviously Titanosaurus. I want the Monster Maker 28 Titanosaurus. That is one that I actually almost got. I almost got it, and it just kind of slipped through my fingers, and I was heartbroken for it. So that one's on my list still, because I think that is the best Titanosaurus representation of him out there. And then I know it was announced late this year, and it's supposed to be coming out, I think, first quarter, or pre-orders starting first quarter. But I want the Kaiju Freaks Azai 30 centimeter King Ghidorah 64. I want that.
I got
That looks incredible.
It's huge. It's the perfect scale for any 30 centimeter figure you have with it. It looks phenomenal, and that is on my radar because I heard that they were going to reissue it, and I was like, holy crap. And I got rid of my 68 Ghidorah. I'll probably get rid of my 64 tricolor Ghidorah once I get this thing, because I think that is the pinnacle of King Ghidorah representations right there. So
keep in mind, I got you. This tricolor.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah,
Eric, I got you.
You have to do a lotto or something.
I got you, man.
That's
for real.
Yeah, I want that.
I got you.
Okay.
No, I'm dead serious. I got you.
Yeah. Okay.
I got you.
So.
Hey, Aaron, real quick, was you fighting for that Titanosaurus that was on that was up for bid about a couple weeks ago?
No, this was a personal seller.
Yeah, I was on that one for a couple weeks ago, man, and that thing jumped up.
Oh yeah, I watched that one too. Yeah,
I got a personal guy, man, and I'm like,
there you go.
I'm like, oh, see how?
Oh, come on,
come on! Why would you do that? Why would you do that, Mark? Why would you do that, man? And as much as I just love and respect you, why would you just do that? Why would you do that, Mark?
Oh my God.
I'm
killing me, Mark.
Man. I got it on my fingertips, and I'm trying to make somebody get it off, and I'm just I'm offering everything. You know, I'm just like everything. You know, I was that wasn't cool, Mark. You know, I ain't gonna talk to you for a month. Talk to you for a month.
Sore subject.
Oh my God. All right, we're gonna move into our top acquisitions of this year. So Adrian, you go first this time.
So, my top God, y'all don't know how hard this was for me because I got so much stuff this year. It wasn't even funny. But I guess I'll go in order. Number 5 would be Godzilla the Ride is number 5. I just absolutely love this design of Godzilla. When I saw it in the short for the little ride. And once I had it in hand, it just blew me away how incredible this thing is. And especially this being my first G-Store exclusive, it was completely worth it.
Yeah.
Number 4 would be Gamera, 1999 Gamera, because
nice.
Just like something else I got, which I'll touch on later, I've been looking for a 99 Gamera since I started collecting. And the original Express 99, y'all know how hard that was, how hard that is to get. It's stupid trying to get that Gamera. And so being able to pre-order and get I didn't even pre-order. I just actually accidentally found it. So being able to actually get this figure to show is incredible.
Nice.
Number 3 is going to be Biollante because, again, Biollante was another one of those figures that was just, again, a grow piece of mine that I've been hunting for forever, and it's been obnoxious trying to find it. And the fact that I finally have it in my collection now is just incredible.
Yeah.
Number 2 is going to be what I just got the other day, that gigantic Shin Godzilla, because that thing is perfection. Oh my
Yeah.
god! I just put my video. I just put my video out for today, and just looking
watched
this looking at that thing downstairs. Is just oh my god! He's not up here because y'all know you don't fit. But Shin Godzilla is definitely number 2 because again, that was in the girl piece I've been looking for since I started collecting. Now that I finally have it, and the clear version too is just ice on the cake. And one, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Mark St. Yang built for me the 1975 Godzilla.
Yes, bravo.
This version of Godzilla completely is this version of Godzilla is why I'm a Godzilla fan through and through.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. What you got, Joe?
All right. Mine in order, number 5 is the 3-0 Ultraman Belial. It's
Oh my god, yeah.
Eric, like when you saw it, like it's cool in pictures, but then when you see it in person, it's kind of like one of those holy shit figures. It's just
it is.
you look at it,
It is.
you know, so I was like really, really impressed by it, and I think I'm gonna get the 3-0 Ultraman Zero to go with it because I liked the Belial so much.
Yeah.
Number 4 and 3 was really hard for me. 4 was Godzilla the Ride. Big fan of that design. Wouldn't mind it at all if next year's movie it was that design.
Yep.
I really impressed with it. Liked it a lot. Liked the coloring, the spines, all of it. Number 3 was the X Plus Godzilla vs. Ebirah statue. That was actually when I saw Eric's in person, I was like, okay, I got to pull the trigger on it.
Yeah.
So he twisted my arm and
figure of the year.
Yeah, it honestly, yeah, it might be. It really might be. The second one that I picked up, it didn't come out this year, but I got it this year at G Fest. It was the Marmot 95, the Burning Godzilla. It's a gallery exclusive.
Yeah.
I got it from Diane at from Clawmark. And it's like the big one. It's like 16 or 18 inches tall or whatever. And because it's like the gallery exclusive, it's very limited, which is really cool. And it's big. You don't see a lot of Marmots that big. And I really liked it. So. And then number 1 is something else I got at G Fest, which is my Godzilla slot machine. And that
love that thing.
Yeah. So I love it. It plays the music, and Eric got to play it, and it's it's fun. Yeah. So it was cool. It's unique. I'm a big fan of like that unique stuff that you don't see very often. So I have to say the number 1 for me was the slot machine. And I got it for a great deal too. I got it for $400. Which I feel like that's, a great deal. So I've spent more than that on, plastic toys. So.
All right, Marcellus, what you got?
Woo!
Yeah, right.
Oh boy!
I want to see this.
Lord
I really
have
do.
mercy.
Yeah, I do see
I'm gonna see what Marcel
I
says.
gotta cheat real quick.
He turns around. He's like,
Yeah, I gotta cheat real quick for 3rd place. Okay, I mean for 5th place. 5 was way over here. Way over there. That Prime 1 Godzilla versus Kong skull crawler fighter.
Oh yeah.
oh wow.
That thing. So I built the whole thing that thing sits on, and my 89 is sitting over there. But that Prime 1, that's 5. This Anguirus, the Skynet Anguirus right there that my shin about to bite into.
Yeah. Painted.
So I redid this thing, and it took me 20 hours to paint each one of these spikes on here. This thing is ridiculous. My other 5th one, I told you I'm cheating. So this guy named, it was, you ever see the old, I'm gonna be real quick. You ever see the old Kung Fu movies? Because I love Shaw Brothers. And it's always the master, and he's teaching the young master, and he always whooping on him and stuff. That was Mark Shang Yang with me this year. Okay? Listen, Mark Shang Yang, Mark is just the coolest dude ever, right? So I did a couple figures, and then it's this one right here. Mark did my Gigan, right? So after he did Gigan, he wasn't gonna do my Gigan. He was like, you know him, he's like, you can do it yourself, Sensei. You know, he's just telling me, right? And I'm like, no, Sensei, I can't. He's like, you're gonna do it. So I'm like, Mark, can I send you such and such? Mark is like, no, you're gonna do it. So he made me pay. Mark, that's why I'm a collector. Mark made me. He did. All jokes aside, Mark did encourage me to do other things. Because I kept asking Mark. I was calling Mark on video and everything. I'm just calling. I don't even ask him. I was just calling him, right? And so I really thank him because he really pushed me to start doing those kits and figures. And out of me doing the Gigan, Mark basically started making me do the others. I would say, Mark, hey, can you do this? He just, no, man, you do it yourself. I'm like, God, man, you don't want my money, right? So that's number 5. Number 4 is right here behind me. If y'all can see this Rodan, 2019 Rodan.
Yes,
that's the Monster Rage Rodan, 2019. I got it straight from from Jake. That thing is absolutely incredible. I can't see it, but it's the base. I lit up the whole base and all that kind of stuff. Number 3. You know, I don't know. Leslie gonna hit me with this. 3 and 4 is just like a toss up because of the KOC 64, and then y'all know I looked up and got the M1 64. So for number 2, it's like how you pick. I mean, both of them are crazy. Number 1. Man, they're gonna actually use this at my 50th birthday party as a centerpiece.
Yeah, buddy.
Spyro King Ghidorah is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ridiculous, man. That King Ghidorah is. I mean, there's so many pieces I could say. I just picked those ones because they were they were rare. They were hard for me to get. Just to throw something else out there, the Resin Chef Mecha King Ghidorah. I love that thing because I always wanted a Mecha King Ghidorah, and so Bill got that to me. But yeah, number 1 is definitely going to be that. But you know, I love you, Mark. You deserve.
Oh man, I love you too, man.
Man, that guy pushed me this year, man. Between him and Dave, they pushed me with that, man.
Dang, nice.
So, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you, man.
You're welcome, man.
I really do.
No
awesome guy.
All right, what you got, Mark?
Well, I got a lot of stuff this year, so I was going through it, and I couldn't think of anything. But let me see. Number 5 would have to be this guy, the 91 Sakai. I don't remember what city it is.
Yeah, that is a great figure for sure.
Yeah, because I missed the pre-order, but I got it from someone. I can't remember who I got it from. But so that's number 5 because I try to collect all the Sakai figures.
Yes.
And then number 4 would be I got this guy too. The A4.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Love that.
Again, I missed out on the pre-order, so I had to buy it from someone, and I don't remember who I bought it from. But so these are great because I love Sakai.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then number 3 would be and this is why I love Marcellus as well. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the Zoe Godzilla 1989. I haven't built it up yet. But
oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but there's a story behind this because when I saw this, I really wanted it, and then I contacted Eric, and then we couldn't get it. So I'm just sitting here, minding my own business, all bummed out, and then Marcellus messages me and says he has 2 of them. So so he basically made my Christmas happen because I wanted this so badly. But so thank you so much, Marcellus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then also number 4 would be I got the
Yes.
Monster
Yeah,
Maker
buddy.
1975.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep. And
Nice.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
this from Dominic Moza. I don't know if you guys know him, but
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. Great
He's
guy.
great.
I got this from him. So I still got to build it up yet.
I was gonna go great with that Titanosaurus, I bet.
And then number
Oh,
one is,
why you had to say that?
number 1 is this guy right here, the Shin Godzilla, the Rick version. I got this from Christopher Fielding. And
Oh,
so
yeah,
thank you so much,
yeah.
Christopher.
Is that the all purple one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this,
that thing is amazing.
This guy is just amazing. And the detail
Yeah.
is just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Definitely.
all right. Jonathan, what do you got?
Oh man. Well, this year's been. I mean, there's so much. I feel like a lot of us are like trying to really battle with what we felt were,
Oh yeah.
the greatest purchases of the year. 5 of them. I mean, I was like, I was telling Eric, I was like, can I lump stuff together? Like, I don't know what to do. So I decided not to do that. I'm just gonna go for the sake of the stream and everything. I'm gonna condense a little bit. But there's a lot that I got. These are kind of in no particular order, but this would probably be the top one of the year for me. Is the Passion Tank
Ooh.
1964.
Nice.
Very nice.
Now
Very
I got the
nice.
blank
Wow, I
version.
saw that. Yeah.
It just the detail on this thing. I mean, the face, the folds, the
Mhm.
color, like just the detailing of the dorsal plates and everything. It's very stylized, but it's also very detailed, which I love. It almost looks like sort of like if you were to paint this, you probably think if you saw it from far away, it could look like like a kit or something. But it's and it's very special to me because in terms of Sofubi saw vinyl kits, this is the first one that I actually put together. Like I had to cut out the pieces and stick them in and stuff, and blow dry and all that. I had to learn all that on the fly. John Drain, who's really good at this stuff, really helped me out. So thank you, John, for that. But yeah, this is one of my favorite Godzillas in movies of all time. Mothra vs. Godzilla is my all-time favorite. So I was really happy to get a Passion Tank because I've always loved Passion Tank. To get a 64 is even better. Now another one that I got that I'm really coveting is the reissue, the X Plus reissue of Gigan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This guy just looks incredible. Detail. I mean, I love Gigan. He's like one of my favorite, kaiju. So to get this was like super special. I don't own a lot of X Plus. I only have like 3 X Plus altogether right now. That being 84, the 84 Sakai, this, and the Train Biter back there. And I do have the Toho Maniacs, Sarazawa, which
of
is
course we
cool,
have to.
But this is tops, and it scales. It goes together really nicely with the 84. It's kind of fun having them next to each other.
Yeah. Definitely.
Next is the Attack Peter.
Yeah.
Godzilla. I mean, the fact that Mondo actually reached out to him and had him work with Hector to sculpt and create this his own personalized Godzilla as a figure as part of their art line was really, 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 really cool and special. And just the attention to detail on this, linograph sort of Godzilla is really cool. It almost looks like an Aztecian statue or something like Indiana Jones or pry out of a temple somewhere.
Yeah.
This is another favorite of mine. And I also wanted to keep the list kind of varied. I didn't want to do too much of the same thing, So I kind of tried to pick the best of whatever, all that I could. But obviously, I got to go with the music for the next one. Out of all the vinyls I got, this is one of my favorite scores of Akira Kurosawa of all time is World of Gargantuas. And I obviously, the artwork here, Waxwork has been killing it with their LPs, with their LP artwork. I like Mondo's done a really good job, but Waxwork has been absolutely killing it, and just everything about this, the inside.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Just
man, look at that.
And not only that, but just the look of the just the look of the vinyl discs themselves, like
Wow.
Oh,
you know,
for
Gyra
sure, dude.
for got that orangey brown look, and then the green for Gyra, like just really, really cool. Show this one real quick. I don't want to take too long, but I feel like it has to be shown at this point. Just that green splatter is just so amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is amazing.
And it sounds great too. Like I play them on my record player all the time. It sounds really good, and the words definitely get stuck in your throat. You know what I'm saying? So I had to throw that in there. But last and most certainly not least, the thing that's probably the most unique thing in my collection that I got recently that I'm really happy that I got as an Ifukube fan. This is called The Artistry of Akira Ifukube. Now, what this is, it's basically like a 14-disc set of all of his music. It's not necessarily all of his score music from the movies. A lot of this is, not a lot of people might know this, but before Ifukube was a renowned composer for film, he was a renowned concert composer, and he did a lot of. You know, we're talking like the 1930s, 1940s into the 50s. Before he started doing film scores, a lot of his work and a lot of the work that stems from his kaiju, tokusatsu scores, comes from these movements of these pieces. So this is a coveted item for any Ifukube fan. I highly recommend you get it. It's a little pricey, but it's well worth the investment. There's even like 4 different versions of Symphonic Fantasia in here. It's Ifukube's 90th birthday celebration. It's a 2-disc, concert. It was all curated. There's a nice little booklet in there. It was all curated through his work with a bunch of other concert composers that got together. Keo Ruwada is one of them too. The guy I mentioned earlier. They all got together and they helped to formulate this epic collection that they recorded like in the 90s and a lot of this, there's a lot of repeat stuff in here, but don't let that fool you, because what Ifukube ended up doing over like the 20, 30-year span of making these compositions, he would go back and add stuff to them and then re-record them. So it's really interesting to see those variations. As a music fan, I'm super excited about that. And that's all I got. So that was my year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, I'll go last here. I'll make this quick.
Best for last.
Oh, yeah, right. All right, so first I'm going to do 2 honorable mentions just because I just had to. I know they're going to look great once they're done. Obviously, they're going to come Mark's way because that's my boy. But,
I can't send him nothing.
First, I'm going to go with the Zoe 89. I got it also, just like he did, so I can't wait. This is one of my top Godzilla suits, so I can't wait to send this to him and he get it all beautified and everything per his wizarding skills. So, so that's one honorable mention. And then, this big boy.
Nice.
Yep.
I got a 50 centimeter Gamora.
Wow.
That is coming your way too, buddy, because he is my favorite Ultra Kaiju of all time. So I snagged this bad boy.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So he's also going to come your way eventually.
Amazing. Let me borrow that.
I figured you like that one.
You know I do. 50 centimeters.
All right. And then we will do number 5. I'm going to go this guy.
Oh.
This is the Zombie-La
Nasty.
Godzilla.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just
wow.
absolutely phenomenal.
Yo.
This thing is on another level for Safubi.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
That is incredible. Is that
creepy and cool.
who does that again?
Is
that Akametenchi? Is that who?
Yes, it is. Yes, thank you.
That piece is wild, dude.
Yeah.
That is wild.
it is.
It's absolutely gorgeous, and I just can't get enough of it. And it glows in the dark, so I mean, it just adds
huge.
to it. But yeah, it is huge, way bigger than I thought. But yeah, it was definitely a standout for me. So that's my number 5. Number 4, we're gonna do. I literally just opened this guy up like before the stream. I literally just opened him up. So this is like my first lookings at him and everything. And like Adrian, I've been waiting for this guy for a long time. Didn't get any of the other issues of him just because it just never worked out. And finally, I was able to get him. So yeah, this is a long time in the making.
That thing is
And I
nice.
am just so happy I got this version because I think this is the perfect version for him just because the red just pops for him more than the actual original and everything. So yeah, I am super happy. So review coming for this guy pretty soon. So hopefully he stands.
Yeah, he'll stand.
All right, number 4. Gonna go with the 66 set, the figure of the year.
Yeah.
And this is also got the awesome touches from the wizard himself, Mark Sang Yang. He redid my base for me to make it pop a lot more.
Wow.
It just kind of, I love that the lighter blue just kind of separates the water from Godzilla, unlike the original where it was too dark for me, so I just wanted to lighten it up and everything. And of course, Mark did his thing and everything. And then of course, the added touch of the red bamboo ship there. I just absolutely love it. So thank you, Mark. You're the bomb, man. Like I said, more work coming to you, in the near future. So, but yeah, that's number 3. And then I'm gonna go with. I'm not gonna touch him. He's just gonna sit back there. But I'm just like Marcellus. This big boy right here.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And Joe, you know what I'm talking about too, buddy. Like
Man,
you got
that
one
thing.
too.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot that this thing came out. I was thinking that it came out last year. And Marcellus, you said it, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
Yeah, Joe, we got this thing this year, man.
I know.
We waited a whole
I
year.
was like, "Oh, I forgot." But yeah,
We waited a whole year, man.
I know.
This
I know.
Big bad boy.
So
right
yeah,
there.
take the 3-0 Belial out and add Spiral.
And Spiral.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And then last but certainly not least, the best. The wizard himself did it again.
The wizard.
My Monster Maker 28, Godzilla 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Mwah! Oh
Wow.
my gosh. Like
So good.
Perfection.
It's awesome.
this is my favorite Godzilla suit out of everything. The 89 is a close second, but this is my suit because it's my favorite movie. And it's just everything about this is just perfection. So
It is.
again, Mark,
It is.
you are the man, dude. You don't cease to amaze me every time I get one of these things, and it's just
Exactly.
incredible. So
You go on.
Hey, I'll go on. I painted mine. I took like 8,000 pictures off of the group message. Off the group of his, and I painted mine exactly like that. Like I did mine, and I'm gonna tell you
Nice.
what, the Mecha Godzilla, it runs up there with mine too. I didn't grab him over there, but the Mecha Godzilla, man, yep, mine's is over there. That thing is amazing.
oh,
Like
man.
when I got done, when I got through building and painting it, I wanted to strip it down and repaint it and build it again. Like that's how that's how nice that thing is.
Oh my god! All right, let's
Wow.
get rid of me here. But yeah, great pickup, guys. It's awesome. So we're gonna end the show here. I know
Onyx
some
wants
people have to
show
go and
everybody his
everything,
favorite
and
pickup.
I know we can sit here and talk about Godzilla stuff all day long, but I know we have lives and everything. So
What's wrong with that?
But
My
I just
day
wanted to
about
say
to begin.
I just want to say thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's been a real pleasure, a real honor. Thank you for just accepting and coming on here and then just sharing your opinions and your stories and stuff like that with me. It's been really special. I just can't say it enough. It makes it really. Oh god, I'm tongue tied. Like I can't even say it. Like it just puts this like on one of the highlights of my year. Just because I was able to do this on my channel with you guys, who I call very good friends of mine, and just doing this with me, it's been special. So thank you so much. If anybody wants to plug anything, before we sign off, please do. Adrian, you want to go first for a plug?
Host, Eric.
What? Oh, thank you. Thanks, Mark.
Did an awesome job.
Yeah, you did an
Thank you,
awesome
buddy.
job.
Well, you already know what I'm gonna plug.
Plug it.
But please do tell.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, my review for the gigantic Shin Godzilla is out as of this first thing this morning. So that review is out. But the biggest thing is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time, we have the pre-show for the Figure of the Year discussion. We're going to touch on almost everything. Articulated kits, statues, X Plus, Safubi, everything. So definitely tune in for that show. And of course, the polling for Figure of the Year is going to be in Kaiju Collectors. So if you're not in there already, go join us in Kaiju Collectors so you can get your vote in and get your figure to win. And voting will be up until the 25th is what we said, Eric, I think.
Oh,
The 20, I think the 25th. That's when the voting we're in, and then the official announcement for Figure of the Year will be January 28th.
yes. Yep, that is correct. Joe, you got anything to plug, buddy?
Well, first off, thanks for including me, dude. It was awesome. This is my
Pleasure.
first time doing one of these
Yes.
things. And it was a blast. I can't wait. I'm saying let's go another 3 hours.
I know, dude.
But thank you for including me. And it was great to, see everyone's faces and meet you all and do this with you guys. It was a lot of fun. I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Married to Kaiju. It is the most unedited, raw form you will get.
It's
All
a
of you
song.
guys may have fancy stuff, but this guy, I'm raw and organic, let me tell you. It's one shot take, and it's like, all right, it's going up. So, but yeah.
I'll subscribe.
Plug of the year.
Just
What's
two
up,
quick
you got anything?
things. Yeah, I mean, mine is not really this. Mine is, I appreciate being on here. The whole community, it has been amazing. I hope you guys have even a more amazing year than y'all had this year. That there be no struggles, nothing that lacks in your families, and you have an awesome year to come. And that's real business. The second thing is, Mark, when people come over my house, I do lie and tell them I built this and not you. I really, really, truly, even as a pastor, don't feel bad about telling people that. So, I love you guys, man.
Love you too, Marcellus.
Oh, that was great.
Mark, you got anything to plug, buddy?
You know what? I just want to say that through this fandom, I've met the most incredible people. I mean, all of you guys included, of course. And, it's been a great ride and this year. And hopefully next year will be even better. And
Yeah.
I'm Eric. I'm glad you asked me to come on, and I'm glad I accepted. And
Yeah.
it's been great. It was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
absolutely.
It was fun. It was great to finally meet you, Mark.
I know, right?
Right.
Like, the face of the name finally. I love
Right.
it. Love it. All right, Jonathan, what you got, man?
Well, like everyone here, I feel truly grateful, Eric. Thank you for inviting me on to be a part of this with everyone. It's been awesome and an honor being with you all, and it's been super fun. I love geeking out about this stuff. It's like one thing that I do enough with, my poor wife who hears enough from
Right?
me. It's good to get out of my system other facets, and you guys are all great. I truly feel honored, and I will say I will plug Collecto Monsters Collectors on Facebook, and we have our Collecto Monsters show. I'm a moderator on that, and I do some work, production wise with them on that, and also I have an Instagram account which if you like music centric stuff and like cool kind of like graphic designy toy, I do a lot with toy stuff, and I'm very spastic with whatever I do, but it's mostly all tokusatsu stuff. My Instagram is Goji Ultra Edits, and as I say that name, it sounds stupider to me saying it out loud, but it's there. So if you guys want to check it out, feel more than welcome to. That's cool. If not, that's totally fine. I hope everyone has a wonderful new year.
Hope it treats you all well and happy and healthy. And I just thank you for having me on. It's a huge honor.
Yeah, like I said, thank you guys for all the kind words. It's been an honor to be on here. Anybody who is left watching, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're almost up to 300 subscribers right now, and then 400 is the mark for my next giveaway. So please keep sharing it. Spread the word. We'll get there and we'll give a giveaway, and we'll get bigger and better. So, but yeah, here's to a new year. Hopefully everybody's safe tonight. Doing their thing. So, but yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for everybody watching. But yeah, this is us signing off. So later, guys.
New Year, guys.
Don't drink too much berry juice out there.
Have a good night, Kaiju family.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys, man. Y'all guys